It's time for Street Fighter League Japan 2025, and we are getting closer and closer to that midway points. So you know that people are going to be striving for as many points as possible out here. That means the action is going to get even hotter. My name is St. Cola. I'm Dwemer Vicious. Hey man, let's get into this. How are you feeling, my friend? Before we start, I got to ask you, how you doing?
I was thinking about the roster and like today's lineup, man, it's so difficult to actually choose. I feel like everybody's been on a really solid streak in regards to like their performance. It may not have equated towards the points they wanted, but I'll tell you what, man, all that hard work eventually gets you the things that you've earned. I've been doing a little bit of searching in regards to all of the CFNs, in regards to some of the streams. I've had a lot of time on my hands since I've come back from Japan to kind of get myself even sharper, and these guys are definitely doing the same. With VARREL going up against HIROSHIMA Team IGZA, Reject versus DetonatioN FocusMe, and then ZETA Division going up against FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN. So it's really hard to predict, but that's the best part, and I'm really looking forward to it.
You know, even looking at the points spread right now, here's Team IGZA in the top spot. Reject trailing behind only by the differential. VARREL only trailing behind by 10 behind those two. So they're in the top 3 right now. DetonatioN FocusMe, ZETA Division, Geekly, and FUKUSHIMA not too far behind themselves. They are once again having some offline action. I was talking to Rob not too long ago on the esports weekly show that we have on the weekends, at least in the little advertisement thing that we do, about how they're starting to have more of this offline for Street Fighter League Japan. Like every so often having them come through and having the fans come out there and the players play out there. It's a different sort of energy, different sort of electricity, and for some of the players it's like a power up.
It feels that way, and it's not even just from like just the Street Fighter pros that are getting graced by some of these offline events and like seeing it from this type of perspective, but there's been so many different events in general that have powered up the overall players in Japan. So I'm actually kind of curious to see like how much of that like prowess is going to count towards the CPT going forward. But as we focus into strictly Street Fighter League Japan, it's so difficult. Even if it's only Section 4 of both Division S and Division F, you know for sure they're grinding it out because they want that 15 million yen prize pool, right? And also prestige of being called Japan's greatest team of Street Fighter League this season, and also to play off against the other champions of both Street Fighter League EU as well as Street Fighter League US. But a lot is going down in the realm of Street Fighter League's prize pool, right? Specifically for Japan because of all the sponsors involved, right? Taiyo Holdings, Suzuki, Galleria, Punk Workshop, Red Bull, etc. With the spread being 9 million to first, 4 million for second, and 1 million yen for third, that is a half the amount of money. But they also do a supplementary prize given to the championship team of 50K. Not only that, but they've brought back a lot of the incentives going into the individual awards, which we'll get into as soon as these guys crack open a cold one and get ourselves ready.
Once again, I need to actually grab one myself and see if I can crack one open with them. But shouts out to the commentators that are overseas, and you know, shouts out once again to the sponsors that have been happening out here to support Street Fighter League, whether they be official supporters or ones that are supporting just the players in you know, either for their streams and things like that. Regardless, all the support is definitely great to see. Like this build year upon year, bigger upon bigger, and once again, it's like a sporting event for a lot of people. Like this is like their Super Bowl. Like Street Fighter's like a Super Bowl event over at Capcom Cup. We talk about how hefty it was in terms of like the electricity out there, in terms of like how loud it is. I couldn't even hear you half the damn time when we were commentating the finals because it was so ridiculous. But when you have such great action, it makes sense. Now, here's the awards. Grand Final MVP, 1 player from the Grand Final team will be awarded that one. Division MVP award, 1 player from each division will get that award. Rookie of the Year award, which is hotly contested if you've been watching Street Fighter League. Drive Gauge Efficiency Award, that's the one that spends the most during the matches. And our favorite, your favorite, the Drive Impact Award, aka the Check Award. We've been slanging them DIs continuously to try to get that 50,000 yen each per award. That's quite a bit to hit some DIs.
Listen, that's a lot of ice cream sandwiches over at their local convenience, I'll tell you what. But again, there's a lot of collaborations that have been happening throughout the year. Vispo, our beloved VTuber group, is actually doing one of those big collaborations now. They're going to be interviewing the winning team after every single match, and they're giving all of their energy and efforts throughout the entirety of the season. Listen, if you are a Japanese-speaking player, viewer, what have you, be sure to check them out. There's the link as well. Or if you want, you can just Google it. Vispo is the easiest way to go in regards to watching all of those intricate interviews. And some of them is actually pretty funny when you actually put up the translation. So it's really cool to see like a different perspective of interviews going towards the players as each and every one of these matches roll out. So be sure to pay attention to them. Vispo has been doing a phenomenal job. throughout every single day thus far. They're working pretty damn hard, man, I'll tell you what. In the realm of everything related to Japan, right, we want to make sure you guys also check their account on X, right? It's going to be Capcom_esports, where you can find this hot artwork, by the way, for this year's Street Fighter League Pro Japan. It's really sick to see everything that's been developing in regards to the merch, in regards to like the artwork that has been thrown down. I know Nakayama-san had posted a couple of things that they're planning to use for Capcom Cup, either for promotional use, either for merch use, what have you, and they all look super sick, including the t-shirts that the two commentators have right now. And also, they have this as a phone case. They're going to show this off in just a little bit. The fact that they have all the players cheering on, all the characters possibly cheering on their favorite players is a really sick sight to see. It's like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, I like that. You know, having the noisemakers right there too as well. We saw it over at Capcom Cup last year. We'll probably see the same similar thing over there this year. But yeah, like all the artwork's super great. And the only unfortunate thing is I have to find more room in my house to hang some of this up. At least this one's a phone case, but I want to kind of get some of these in prints to put them around my apartment. Either way, though, it's good to see a continuous amount of artwork. It's a background in the venue, or the background is the venue for the grand finals as well. And they got the bags too. Oh man, come on. There's not enough room in my house for all this merch. Like, I'm already trying to buy the shirts, the hoodies, and now y'all got a tote bag too? I'm gonna get my groceries in this? Come on.
It's a good time to be a Street Fighter League fan. I'll tell you what, man. All the cool stuff that's come out of Japan has been like top notch, right? I just hope that the EU and the US regions follow suit, because I would love to get my hands on some of this merch. I know like sometimes they'll do things associated with the teams themselves, but in regards to just straight up Street Fighter 6 artwork, this is the one for me. Like, I would love this keychain on my bag. I always rock the bag out there in Japan. It's just so convenient to hold all of the drinks that I like to bring around as I'm going through transit, train after train. This keychain is actually pretty neat, and Hamiko looks absolutely thrilled about it.
It's like, can I keep this? Is this going home with me or what? Like, but yeah, I'd like to get some of that merch. So I hope that, you know, the other scenes definitely get that sort of push too as well. Support anything that's going on with Street Fighter League. Y'all can find out more information for what's going on in Japan at Capcom_esports. They've been putting out a lot of stats for the players too as well. If you want to see like with their win ratio and things like that, they've been putting out stats. They've also been putting up like almost prediction in terms of like who's going to come up for the teams and things like that. So you can kind of fill that out and see if your prediction is right in terms of who's going to come up on the away and home side. So I like that interaction. I like that they're doing that. So it gives you a little more chance to be involved with Street Fighter League Japan.
Yeah, I do believe they've dubbed it Hamiko's Choice. That has been a supplementary show, like pre-show, that's been happening, I think, the last couple of years. So they kind of take whatever happens there during Hamiko's Choice and put it onto Twitter, like the summation of it, essentially, in regards to what the choices are between the home and away teams and who's going to be taking it down. And speaking of the teams, we're going to get our first match underway. It's VARREL's introduction, starting with the exceptional Pad Master TS, who has had an exceptional growth from his first season onto the next. Really excited to see if he comes up to play. And just as exciting, the Yoga Monk, YHC Mochi, who might just be in the hot spot this time as they are on the away side. Along with the Prince of the Rapids. He always has his hand out because he knows he'll never let you drown. Mizuha coming in alongside the god, the 2D god specifically. This is Mago, the coach and mastermind behind Team VARREL. I love this synergy. I love the way these cats play. And I love the character selection overall. They're going to be a very hefty competitor, even being on the away side. And look at that. You already know the Crimson Chin is ready for some sort of grand appearance, right?
Why is he so close? Why is he so close? Every time. You know, definitely a funny dude, but when it comes time for business, he gets serious. He's going to have to get down and dirty out here because they are fighting HIROSHIMA Team Itsuka. This is a team that last season people had as their dark horse, but no longer. They are in the limelight right now, being in the top spot over Reject, having a team of great synergy, of unique characters, and the evolution of the player base too as well, alongside the addition of one of the strongest ends I've ever seen and one of the strongest younger players I've ever seen in such a short time. Let's take a closer look at HIROSHIMA Team Itsuka. All right, let's get it going. We have the young man, sees the future, Adeli, one of the most ridiculous, confident edge I've ever seen. I almost said players, but honestly, you can say it for both. The lightning fast speed star himself is Akira. Oh, the Scammy Cammy. Don't let him rob you with the hooligans. After that, we have the grappler instinct. He knows what to do. He knows who the Mexican typhoons are going to land. It's Hibiki, the beast. And to lead them all, to lead the charge, give me the duelist, always ready for a bout. It is Aqua with the JP and Blanca if need be. I like that variation. I like the switch-ups that they have. I do like this team overall. Once again, you have such a young, competitive player that is ready to fight it out with that fantastic Ed. They're throwing up the signs. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can run that set. You know what?
I'll do it. I got you,
that
bro.
way.
I'll do it. I'll do it for the both of us. You feel me? They can come contact me, okay? Don't worry, I got your back.
Oh man, these teams are great though. I've seen, you know, Hiroshima Team Itsuka get to this point where last year it wasn't like they were bad at all or anything like that, but seeing them as the dark horse and almost get to that high level point was great. But seeing them right now is ridiculous. So, Waichi Mochi, Mago, TS as the first three, and in the wings, if need be, Misuha. What do you think about this order?
This is actually a pretty competent order. I like Mochi, YHC Mochi kind of setting the pace with Dhalsim, right? Despite having a lot of matchups against him, I feel like he's been the one to kind of go against that a lot of the time. Him and Torimeshi, obviously the main two Dhalsim mains in Japan, they have been studying every matchup that has gone like haywire throughout like previous season and this season, and I think it's honestly pretty intimidating to snatch points away with the way that they've played thus far. Mago being in second is a little bit of a surprise because I don't think, you know, TS might be just ready for the anchor match, but I also might be putting my foot in my own mouth because like the way that TS has been playing thus far, I think he needs that extra set to fully develop and download his opponents. So I will say this is still a very, very strong synergy going into it. Although it's hard to say having a Mai on the bench because Mai is always going to be a detriment towards the other team. So that's my analysis on it.
No, I agree with you. I think, you know, when you have Sim come up, you might be kind of scared because, oh man, maybe the Kami could come out. Maybe that was their intention to draw that character out. But as you said, Waichi Mochi has been dealing with bad matchups or matchups that feel like they're really bad for Sim and has been working around them well. And I do like the synergy in terms of having TS at the very end, though. Like, maybe it's kind of a difficult proposition to have him in the anchor position, but at the same time, it's do or die. You know, we're getting to that midway point. He's got to show out. He's been showing out for the most part. It's going to be the biggest test, I think, today, not having Mago out there in the anchor position. But there's no Kami. It's going to be Aqua coming up first. I'm surprised to see him even come up first. Maybe they're saving Akira for Adeli or you know, I'm not sure. Actually, no, that's not the same thing. I don't know why you would save Kami. What would you save Kami for?
Possibly for the Mai matchup, I would imagine. Like if the tiebreaker is necessary, then well, it's been a very pivotal point too. If like the tiebreaker does happen, so we've seen that happen a couple of times where they had to play the fourth player and they don't want to waste that shot, right? They can't just pick another player this time. I think there's a very, very big consideration for the new rules this time around. So that's the only time I can think it's like, okay, they want to go player for player rather than try to accumulate all the points necessary. Like it doesn't always go their way, right? In the sense that if you have to go into that tiebreaker and you end up having a bad matchup, it's a waste of a spot for a lot of the strategies going forward. So I think it's okay. But their team composition overall, I think, like taking a look at the teams, right? Let's see. With Hiroshima Team, you have potential Ed, Kami, Lily, JP. Honestly, I don't know who else I would put against, not JP, sorry, Blanca because of Aqua. I don't know who else I would put against Mai confidently. So I wouldn't mind just having Kami hang out. Like I think Hibiki's Lily is more than competent enough to take anybody on this squad. I think Adeli's Ed is also just as strong against like possibly Jury, against possibly Akuma, even though like some of the Eds hate that matchup. I've seen some of his work on CFN, so I think he's rather comfortable now. But it really depends on whether or not they have those reservations for those specific spots, right? It's all speculation, so.
I think that's a good point, though, in terms of like making sure that you have something for the extra match. We've seen some of the players kind of bet a little bit on not having the extra match or be like, if this does happen, we'll be prepared no matter what. So I do agree. I think that's a good analysis. Wachimochi says in his interview, though, against Blanca, I've been having bad games recently, but I feel I can win today. I've watched him play a few of the Blanca players, and you know, it doesn't look like it's too fun if you try to float too much because they have like the heavy kick that's so fast. They drive rush heavy kick a lot of the buttons and things like that. They try to do like jump fierce. But I've seen him survive by switching up by doing Comet when need be instead of like going for like jump fierce when he goes to the air. On the ground, he's been well enough to find the timings for like crouching unit punch, drive rush right after. If he's caught up in the corner, obviously it's hard to escape the corner and sim, but he's been able to have the button timings to do so. So we'll see how he does against the likes of Aqua. Aqua says, it's really nice to listen to the opponent's interview. Mochi is pretty confident, but I'll make a cooked Mochi just like I cooked Torameshi the last time. Who taught him to talk like this? This water is spicy. This cat is on the spicy water right now. Hello?
I mean, at one point in time, he was a lead battle designer for a card game, man. He understands the gripes of a community. He understands how to talk that talk back. He's definitely that dude, if anything. So Aqua, good thing to note, he actually had history in week number 3 against another of the famed Dalsum players. That is Torameshi. He just mentioned it in his interview. He took him down very convincingly 3-1, where it was back-to-back wins towards the end of the set. So it makes a lot of sense that he's going up against the Dalsum today. That is YHC Mochi.
Yeah, didn't he say something about clipping Torameshi's wings? He fried that bird up. All right. So I guess he's been on the energy for a little bit. We'll see how the matchup goes. I want to see what we're going to be doing it when YHC Mochi takes to the skies. See, I got a mix. YHC Mochi takes to the skies. Like, what's the play going to be? Drive rush. Heavy kick is going to wait for him to fall on the ground. What's the anti-fireball play? You do have slide. Will the timings be hard enough to read where that doesn't work out? And it's a bait from YHC Mochi. What will be like the game plan when you're fighting the likes of Sim? You know, I've seen this matchup every so often. It's a lot of like drive rush, heavy kick to anti-air, but on the ground, does seem like it can be a little bit hard for Blanca in some areas, but all it takes is one interaction, one jump in, one good read to get going. We kind of saw that last time, if I'm not mistaken. It was like, if he found one good read to get in against him, he has Lightning Beast, he sticks in. He's not leaving. He's taking residency. He's there permanently. He's not leaving at all. Feed her up.
Yeah, he's big reclining, right? He's big chilling. One of those things, too, is that Dalsum wants to cover so many different angles and approaches from like a general standpoint. I think Blanca does a great job of kind of disrupting that. Like, he has access to great normals that could counter poke limbs that are just outside of range, and I know some of these players have that timing down. He can also utilize his very sharp angled jump. Like, he has a triangle jump, not in the sense of a Marvel thing where he has like a dash jump or whatever, but like he has a literal like triangular arc, which makes it a little bit more difficult to anti-air sometimes. He does have I want to say lower range Blanca balls to either cover the gap or like fake people out. He also has the drive rush that he could use if he ever sees YHC Mochi try to engage in the air. So getting around Yoga Comet, getting around certain air normals, I think Blanca can be able to attest against that. And also having an escape option with OD up ball under pressure can be a huge factor in his comeback. There it is, already off the cut, just going for that jump, very sharp angled and a quick down against YHC Mochi, but the dive kick escaping the throw. He is actually prioritizing his positioning. Aqua went for an immediate wake up and jump.
Checks the dash, the jab, blast side switch thrown out of there. Teleports away. Every time he jumps back, I'm afraid of the air ball coming through. Tipping a limb. That's a dangerous proposition that could happen. Oh, he didn't get the heavy kick follow. He gets the crouching medium punch though. What? Uh-oh. Drops. That could have been it. Don't leave this cat alive. Even with the lead up, could be dangerous, but he might be able to take a trade or two.
Yeah, I'm still very confident in Aqua's capabilities too. Like, he's building just extra meter for the next round. But this might actually be a little bit dangerous. YHC Mochi on the offensive. I like that choice of DI. Mochi not even going to try to perfect parry it, and then now eating the throw, no choice but to go down to that. Aqua setting the pace earlier.
Dashing, he'll take a few hits here and there. Ball takes that one jump in. Again, the jump in! He knows the access point. You mentioned it. Hard to anti. At that angle, you have slower anti-airs if you're Sim, but that one works out. Blast in level 1. The dumping of damage. Teleports on out of there. Hell parry for too long. Back throw.
Oh, just at the tip! Being able to get that slide was huge! Back-to-back frame traps, no lightning beast just yet. You might be able to get it off of a block string here to enforce your will.
Finds the opening, might even need it, to be honest.
Ooh, you're right, Cola. You're absolutely right. When you hit that plus frame normal, it's hard to play defense against it. The block back getting eliminated into the level 3 Aqua, looking right at home with game 1.
So to be honest, like the fact that level 2 is on the menu as well as level 3, those are so many things to consider right there. You could go for the activation, open them up in the corner. Lacking defense for Sim is kind of hard to deal with those options that come through. So at any point, both are gonna kill. Hey, I beat him kick continuously. Trying to get the cross up, dive kick, Tulu throw. Fireball, yes sir, set it up.
Oh. Damn. What a perfectly placed slide there from YXC Mochi, right? Now he's trying to play a little bit counteractive towards Aqua. You see some of these limbs, right? The roundhouses is going to be checking some of these ranges. And also quicker recovery limbs just in case Aqua tries to jump in some of these ranges, but the crouching medium punch again, so active. Getting the counter hit against Mochi. Quick ball over.
Striking back beat kick, cycling on the air ball, dot kick able to hit, and able to reposition too as well. He has him up in the corner. Dang, you might as well just chip him out as much as possible. That's gonna do it. No DI necessary. That level 1 just to ensure the job is done. Dissuade a level 2 activation that could be coming through though. A great equalizer. You see him walking back to avoid the round start jumping. I like him adjusting to the options that Aqua's presenting.
Take a note of the stats that YHC Mochi is getting at right now, right? He's throwing out the Yoga Fire after the down forward throw. He threw out the Comet immediately. As soon as he has the life lead, he's waiting on movement. What a call out against the teleport. The air grab from Aqua.
Not popping it just yet. Let's get the side, interrupts the ODR. He's in, what's the defense like? What we doing here? Gets open up low with the crouching, beat him kick. I don't know what happened there, but unfortunately, you're holding Lightning Beast. Man says time to eat. Air ball, catch the throw, and lift off. And still had more. Still, there it is. Satcher, put it in the doggy bag.
Damn, taking it to go? They're not gonna let you do that at a Japanese restaurant. Oh, the slide catches the drive rush. YXC Mochi unlucky in that instance. And now the Unk check above 30. Aqua on the way over to getting another level 2, especially with this block check. Another Unk check. He might just win the award today.
Well, they're locking him down, eating him up, crouching him punch. OD, another Lightning Beast, and another victory against a Sim player. Aqua takes it over YXC Mochi.
He is 4 games straight against Dalsim players. I repeat, this man is cooking Dalsim for dinner. Whether it's YXC Mochi or Torimeshi, still falling victim to Aqua's electric Blanca. I'm loving the way he's moving around. And he also made some very good guesses against some of the pensiveness that some of the Dalsim players kind of take upon when it comes to their stance, right? When it comes to the beginning of the game. He was mad active when it came to these jumps. And then he kind of sort of played it a little bit more grounded, knowing that YXC Mochi was going to play more counteractive, right? He was trying to prevent movement. So with that in mind, Aqua's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and run my game on the ground now. Since you're so attentive to the air, I love that slight adjustment, but it's so effective from Aqua.
100%. You know, the way that he played this in terms of keeping on the character as much as possible, there's some good moments, obviously, that we saw here and there, but like, there's so much variation you have to worry about. Air ball coming through that might clip a limb. The slides we talked about. Aerial approach to check the challenge. And being in the right area to be able to jump in that domain where they can't hit back here, so the Yoga Lance or the Yoga Uppercut, Yoga Mountain, none of those options because they're a little bit on the slower side. He knows how to just walk in there, take a few hits, not to turn too much, and just knowing that if I get that jump in, I'm going to get massive reward. 10 points, Hiroshima. Team Itsuka starting off very strong. Mago in second position, not an anchor. Who do we send up against him?
Honestly, I think Hibiki might be the choice here. I think I like having that choice for this particular round because Jury's Mago can be kind of like haywire, it can be kind of wild, so... Hold on. Really? Oh, okay.
Word?
So it's gonna be Adelie, the Ed, to kind of push back the pressure that Jury can present. Alright, so... I can get that. I can definitely get behind that. Then you think to yourself, Hibiki reserving himself as the anchor against Akuma, and he could be like, it could cause explosive damage. I get it even more.
Okay, and then Akira in the final position. All right, this makes a little bit more sense. You know, I think it's better for Ed I remember talking to Jack and a few of the other jury players. They're like trying to search for like a matchup to, or like a secondary to fight the matchup that is Ed. You know, you can keep her out, as you mentioned, continuously. Your fireballs are really good to keep her out. She might put out the low fireball, but you have flicker, you have your fast fireballs that keep her at bay. You outrange her continuously. Her crouching mid kick has super long range, but most of your tools have a lot of long range too as well. So I like this pick, and Adelaide's been absolutely on fire. I've been watching the players in Japan like talk on their stream about like, we got to watch out for this cat. Like, they were discussing on how to beat Adelaide because he is so strong, so dominant. That's taken down the likes of Goichi, Tokido, long-standing players, and he is so young. So him coming up against another 2D god, the 2D god himself, excuse me, Mago, another sick match.
Yeah, he's had an impressive run thus far, right? Adelaide so far has fought in every single week. In week 3 and 2, he went completely bozo berserk. He went 4 games straight. And he actually included one of those names you were talking about, Tokido. He also managed to take down Johnny in week 3, but in week number 1 as the anchor, took down Goichi, as you had mentioned it. That is rather impressive. So that's why I'm a little bit, I guess, out of my seat seeing him already walk up to the captain, right? He's been in the 2nd spot for these last couple of weeks. I guess they're really adamant about checking out some of these matchups, like checking some of these character matchups more so than the player matchups.
Yeah, it might be. Also, you know, getting more points for their side of things if things do go haywire. I like that. You know, I like Adelaide. I like to see him in anchor position. I just want to see him more in more games, honestly. But this is going to be cool. Mago said, it's Ed, huh? You might realize the difference between last episode and this episode. I might be seeing things too much. I'd win. Well, congrats on his surgery that he had recently. It was seemingly a quick surgery, but a surgery is, you know, if you're out of there, good. But also, him saying I'd win, I don't know, man. People saying I'd win does not end out well for them. So be careful. Mention that, Magojo. Adelaide says, I've had a chance to play in front of the fans as much, so I'm a bit nervous, but I'll do my best. He might be nervous, but the way he plays, I don't see it, man. The way he is confidently walking up on these absolute gods of fighting games, like they're nothing, is beyond. It's absolutely beyond.
It's so funny seeing him without glasses. Not in a bad way. Like, you're so used to seeing him like for decades upon decades of like being like the dude with the glasses on, looking kind of like ominous, like pure anime semi-antagonist where he puts the glasses up after every W. He's like, I called that. And then he pops off on you, right? It's kind of strange, but honestly, I'm very happy for his transition over into going from 2D to 3D. I'm really happy about that. I'm also kind of nervous only for him. I know for sure it takes about like 2 weeks minimum to fully be like recovered because you do get like symptoms of dry eyes. So I hope he's taking good care of himself because I've definitely gone through it. And I'll tell you what, man, as much of a miracle as it is, playing games afterwards, I could not do it. I'm like, nope, not even trying to mess with this. I'm not even trying to mess up my eyesight.
And he is pulling up to play against one of the best players out here in Street Fighter League Japan right now. Kind of wild. My man loves that competition, though. You know, I love watching him play, though, overall. Like, you know, a lot of people watching him play because he is so footsie based. He is so sound in his choices. You know, I remember last season people were highlighting him in the Tokido match that had happened, saying it's one of the greatest matches of Street Fighter League and even Street Fighter 6. Remember, who was that? Minna was talking about that match after it happened. So he always gives great results. He, so far, though, has been not too bad. Let me check his history. All right. So he won an anchor match. He lost to Hikaru. That was final game, I think. Yeah, it was final game. And he took down Daigo, where Daigo afterwards did a post-mortem on his channel, which is in English if y'all want to check that out. But mention how strong Mago is overall. But like, he's had a pretty decent run. So 2-1 right now. 2 wins, 1 loss. Not too bad for him so far. And the one time that he lost, it was by a single last game sort of scenario. So not like he's too far out. He's always been strong in Street Fighter League no matter what character he runs. And I'm glad that also he has been sticking with Jury. Like, a lot of people have kind of led to the wayside, had to have secondaries. He is going with this character, rain or shine, bad matchup or no, trying to figure it out. This is not going to be a fun one. It's going to be a test on both sides. Magojo versus Adeli. Let's get it.
Wait, so Mago, you said Mago played Daigo earlier?
Yeah, he played Daigo in the extra match.
Is that Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I wanted to make sure I got my notes correctly. Cool. I was like, wait a minute.
Good.
Right on. So, into game number 1. Oh, hey, not too bad. It wasn't a punish. Still got the counter hit with the DI. No anti-air in sight. A little difficult to judge as she has access to dive kicks. Great pickup too. Puts himself into burnout though. Not too bad while you're in the offensive, right? You're building that gauge back. You're applying a little bit of pressure. But what happens if Adelaide manages to score that back throw? Hence why Mago went for the back jump. Excellent choice. And a big bait right afterwards.
Playing around that idea. Not trying to get back thrown at all. Should be able to finish off. He's got level 1. Target combo incoming. Doesn't even need it. Excuse me. Hella optimal. Sneaking in those crouch fierces. As you mentioned, he knows the danger of being a burnout. Once she gets head up in the corner, able to back jump away. Good play so far. Tap parry though. Back throw the kitty killer. Dash up throw again. Too far for the button to hit.
Oh. Unlucky with the button choices, Adelaide. Stuck in this corner. Mago giving him a little bit of breathing room as long as the mediums try to connect, but are we gonna get the side switch? No, it's pure damage into the knockdown. Ooh, with punish. God, I'm telling you, man, he sees in 3D now.
Sees it all. Every frame. And just wrapped up.
Ooh, that was
He's
sick.
able to DP the foot dodge. Duel's coming through. Side switch level 2. This cat's played perfect
What
parry
a
in the
parry.
punish.
What a call out too. Defensively on both ends. Adelaide looking to take it too. He's trying to bait Mago with a drive rush, immediate backdash afterwards.
So one touch, and there is
You
the
already know
flicker.
it.
Ooh. At the perfect range.
Being able to take away that place is so tough, right? You talking about that perfect range, having a flicker on deck is just going to be so detrimental to Jerry's approach.
To stay in medium, ends it with the pinwheel, checking the back walk a little bit. Mago able to block, but not that time. Psycho blitz, quick rise, blocks out. Nothing big though, those are a counter hit. Slaying the buttons, but not able to catch anything. That's not Mago with a few drops of air to air right there. At least got level 3, level 2 if need be. Build up a little bit more bar for that level 2 scenario to be even more potent and dangerous.
What do you do about this too? Mago was playing a little bit more passive, just waiting for a mistake from Adelaide. Playing nice and chill too. He's getting a lot of that drive gains back. Adelaide now at the deficit both life and resources, and in fact in games more than enough damage incoming with the level 3. Mago making pretty significant work in that round specifically. Look at how much he managed all of his life and his resources to dump out in that last moment of that whiff punish too. So Mago getting the big ups on patience against Adelaide is one thing to note, right? What happens now for Adelaide, right? Do you push the agenda? Do you kind of push forward more and get within flicker range more often? No, you do not. Instead, you try to get the fireball and get smoked.
Fortune cook for that decision. We'll ride it back just a little bit. But look at how Mago just reassesses, realigns, and it puts Adelaide on the backboard a little bit. He doesn't know when a perfect parry, when a tap parry, when to play his button. Most people, I think, try to go right back in. Mago's able to back off a little bit and had a little bit of hesitation in Adelaide's mind. Stocks with FUKUSHIMA. Oh, wasn't able to get a button or a DP off, unfortunately. Toss him. Target combo there on the stand line kick. Caught him on the way down, though, with the jabs. Threads the needle as Mago.
Yep, and the meaty stand jab recovers just in time to dodge that OD uppercut from Ed. Not going to be active until double digits, so really well played. Mago now on match point, letting the fireballs rock, following up behind it. Adelaide trying to defend against it. Mago looking rather dry. Can't go for any sort of cancel, hence why Adelaide has been going tit for tat thus far in blows. Instant air medium.
That's him up in the corner. The defense like, throw again. Another one. You're so worried about so many butts. 4 throws. Now the jabs. Maybe didn't think it was going to be enough of the DRC. Had the level 3 behind him. Back throw. A lot of room to work right now. I think with a lot of kill rushes back to reassess and realign himself with that flicker pressure. But Mago not faltering, not falling for it at all. Oh, he took the time to side switch. That was going to be a throw. I'm just going to reposition myself away from the corner. Smart spacing.
damn, he had to take all of that from that far. The flicker being so plus afterwards. Willing to guess. Back throw now. Slowly winding down that life lead is Adley. He does have critical art, so a single blow plus that drive gauge being at 3, even closer to that survival point.
Kill back to add that variance. But it's him on the back foot. Only by a little bit of health. They find an entry point. Mago might be willing to lame this out in 20 seconds. Holding parry. There's a throw. Oh, we're not equal anymore. Adelaide with the lead. But it comes to me to get the victory. That's what he wants. The toss. One more touch. 10 seconds. Before the fireball. He avoids it. Level 2 to lock him out. If you jump, you'll be DP. The dash up, the throw. Adelaide trying to ensure his victory. Yeah, there's no way. With the flicker, with the fireballs, with the fist, no way to get in against this cat.
Nowhere to run either, right? He had to ensure that he kept going forward. And Adley being that active with those said moves that you had mentioned, secured that win, secured that extra round for him. Adley looking for a spark. Does get the counter hit into the target combo confirm. Down below. Too far? What happened? I don't even know why that roundhouse whiffed.
So much more. Walk up to the tap parry attempt though. Gonna call out the timings. Level 2. We try reversal, we call it out. No, it's gonna get opened up instead. If he jump, yeah, he's gonna try to go for the heavy flicker. Wasn't fast enough, but he still has him right where he wants him. That's up in the corner. Just don't get level 3. Especially now where he gets so close to gaining the drive gauge right back. Nice interruption.
Ooh.
The speed bump, the crouching medium kick, super long range, takes a ton of drive gauge away.
He's trying to force the burnout. Adley was 2 steps ahead with that parry. Not willing to take the throw. He's trying to move. I don't know if he can take any more of it. The backdash call out, more than enough coming in. All he needs to do, secure the level 1, which he does. Adley stays in it.
I can't lie. I thought it was going to be over. I thought Mago was going to be on the hunt and get his drive gauge, take that all away, and just secure the win from there. But Adley with the perfect parries. Great backdash, great defense and offense. Even games now.
Oh,
boy, catches the shimmy attempt.
Yeah, multiple times like Mago's been able to get away from that. I think there was only one time where Adley was able to snipe out the walk back. Up in the grill, back throw just within range. Setting up with the spark, and now trying to entice Mago to move forward. Not when the flicker is charged up.
Comes in time. Ooh. Counter hit, knockdown. Try rush on in. Oh, the fake out that kill rush. Gonna add that variance, but Mago tends to take the space. As soon as he sees that reaction of the kill rush, he'll inch forward. Oh,
ooh, the call
heavy
when
one.
he dropped it. He charged a little bit too long. Down below, no walkbacks here. Level 1, you already know it. What a swing in momentum. Adley now on match point to initiate that first round in this final game. I'm loving this right now from Adley.
Yeah, I mean, most people would be upset that some of these things not converting or it's gonna drop. Able to stay solid. Okay, level 1. This close to distance, all you need is a dash for your Oki. Yeah, stand medium right after. Staggering just a little bit. Locks the stock up, ends a turn. More to play with though. No back throw here. Not a bad trade. Mago still has him up in the corner. The air to air. Delaying, find the stand fierce up in the corner. Put the face up in the corner space. Stocks up. Deep with the jumps.
What? How was he able to thread the needle like that? That's crazy that that normal worked out against Mago.
So short too.
Ooh. Right back into it. I feel like it's like moderately sized, you know? I think Ed has that kind of range to hit that.
It's compared to the other moves, you know, the other normals. This looks smaller. But you're right, it's not too bad. The corner harassment is happening. Go back though here, you see Mago stepping back every so often. Just don't get checked on them below. With the crouching medium punch, we've seen that be an issue. Okay, rush back, recovers. Able to block out the jump. Another one. Oh, again.
Back towards the corner as well. Double bounce, hella damage in corner. Jump. He was opting to to see if Adley would move over. That jump fierce, managing to catch. Back at level 2 is Adley.
The knockdown. Doing more. Pops are all level 2 though. Lock him down. The air with the jump medium. It's off the table now. Psycho Cannon off the screen. Tick throw. Anyone's game. More on the side of Mago. He's got a lot of part to spin. Pops to level 2. Can you survive? The Feng Shui engine all revved up, full of gas. He does the interruption and the kill. Adley, are you kidding me? How is this cat so clean in the corner with his confirms, reversal buttons? My God.
He's a monster. This dude Adley is something different. He might just be in contention for Rookie of the Year, the way he's been playing against everybody. He is currently undefeated. Well, he's had a couple of L's in his games in between in the matches or whatever. But every single week that he showed up, whether it's in the anchor spot or in the secondary spot, he's taken down legends. From Goichi to Tokido and now Mago. He's taking down the throne single-handedly.
Even in situations where he had some weird drops and things like that, able to just brush that off and keep it going. And the fact, he's really universal with his super. You saw the level 2 as kind of like a deterrent for Mago. I like just the way he's playing also in the corner in defense, the stand mediums. You saw the crouching light kick. It's a counter hit. The counter pokes were ridiculous. This cat is, what are they feeding these kids? Why are they so good over Japan? I mean, you know what? Everywhere in the world, but even Japan, this kid is insanely good. And how strong he is, even though he's by a crowd, even though he's fighting legends and taking absolute W's out here. 20 points, Hiroshima to Itsuka. What a great pickup for them.
Brother, there is potential for a 40-game swing for Hiroshima Team Ikusa, considering who's in the anchor spot. TS, I don't know how much practice he has against other Lily players because genuinely, where are the other Lily players? That's just a question that I may not be able to answer. That's a note that I'm still trying to figure out. I would love it in the chat to be like, hey, we actually have developing Lilies in Japan by the name of so-and-so, right? But we'll see. It is going to be Akira. Okay, so I honestly thought it was going to be... sorry, why did I say Hikaru? I meant to say Hibiki, right? I've been saying Hikaru a bunch. Hibiki, hello. I hope I've been saying that correctly. It's late. It's like 3:45.
No, yeah, you have. You're good.
But Akira coming up next? Great. Even better. I love this. With how fast Akira plays, I don't know if TS is able to match that momentum. Either of that tempo.
Cool players have they've had a good time fighting Kami players. They found the secret sauce to kind of fight the character, and someone's playing second, using stand fierce and forward fierce, and the pokes with the stand light kick to fight her. I feel like they found that sauce, but as you mentioned, Akira is a different beast. His pacing, his tempo with this character, when he goes for dive kicks and hooligans, you don't expect it. He's been able to be a lot more hot than cold. He used to be either hot or cold, making huge mistakes. Now it feels like his ODDPs are so difficult to read and deal with, and he's had a lot of practice from around the world. He's gotten a lot more practice in general in terms of being outside of Japan, so I feel like that's made him an even stronger player. It's a big test for TS. Him coming up as an anchor position. He's had some great games out here already, but this is anchor position. Your team needs this to be able to get the extra. It's a lot of work right now and a lot of weight on TS' shoulders. So once again, it's gonna be up to him, and it's gonna be a lot on his side of things. We're gonna get the interview. TS says Mago and Mochi unfortunately lost, but they were so close to the win. I'm fired up for this game.
For some reason, I was so certain that Akira was going to be in the reserve spot. I was so certain he was going to be in the reserve spot.
I was with you. I was with you too.
I think this is totally fine. I think this is easier to manage, right? I think Kami is going to have a pretty decent job against Akuma, but again, TS has been evolving every single week. Taking a look at his current record, right? He took down Fudo 2-0, by the way. Fudo sometimes feels untouchable during certain days of Street Fighter. TS made him look quite the opposite. Then following suit, even prior to that, even in day, I want to say in day number 1, question mark, TS had another big 2-0 against Tsubasa's Jury, looking rather clean. The only time he had suffered a very significant blow was against Momochi. He lost 0-2, but I guess that being in week 2 is what kind of geared him up into week 3. So you know he has the potential of studying up matchups and fighting back pretty much stronger than he was previously. So it begs the question, like, who has he been practicing against when it comes to the Kami matchup? I think there's a whole army of Akuma players in the realm of like Japanese ranked gameplay. So it really is in TS's court. The ball is really in his court to see whether or not he has enough sufficient Kami experience.
And they all play, at least at like high level, they play so differently. Like, you know, Punk's more grounded. Obviously, Akira has such a speed star as akin to his name sort of play style. He's definitely wild, especially on his defensive wake-ups. He might do 2 ODDPs. For his history so far, he's only played 1 match, and he fought in anchor position against Lashar, and Lashar kind of bodied him. It was a first game to him, and then after that, Lashar took it from there. We saw him with punishing the heavy kicks and things like that. So Akira, that being said, has been grinding on his stream quite a bit. He's also been kind of applying some time to Mai a little bit. I don't know if that's going to come out in these matches, but he's just going to go for the Kami. But Akira said our team was just so excited by how Adela played. He'd like to win the game with the same enthusiasm as him.
And what a baller too, man. Adley it feels like the complete package right now for a team that really needed it. Hiroshima team Ikuzo, right, didn't have the necessarily strong start or finish that they wanted in the previous season, but they're looking like top dogs right now too. So I'm really happy to see like how everything's played out so far. Like going into where we're at right now in regards to like the points, they're still at the top, right? They're coming to this with 80 points. Now they've hit the 100-point mark. That's a pretty significant deal. They were tied with Reject, having the slight advantage with the game differentials. So if they manage to get this 40, whereas Reject has a really tough match against them in match 2 against DetonatioN FocusMe, they might be smooth sailing this week.
Ooh, that'd be a resounding victory for them as we go into like the second half of the season. But no, we'll see. I don't want to prophesize no demise. You know, TS could definitely do it. But again, as you mentioned, there's a lot of weight on his side of things to have to fight a Kami that is so different than other Kami players at that level, especially. The weight of his team needing to have these points out here as much as possible to not get 40 bombed, because for them, that's a huge deficit. To go in with 0 points for a day leading into the next part of the season is, it sucks. I'm not going to cut it any different way. It's going to suck horribly. It's going to drop them down further. They don't want that. So, for TS, once again, it's a lot of work for him to have to do. You know, for Akuma, as we mentioned, like, it's not too bad for him. We've seen, you know, Kami players out here get defeated by the Akuma players, having a strong game plan of grounded games. So as we mentioned, the stand fierce, 4 fierce, the fireballs, stand light kick as well. You know, you watch NL versus like Hurricane or Punk versus like Kawano and stuff like that. You see the game plan. But is there an evolution? Have the Kami players found the way? Is the speed star going too fast? Can TS keep up? We'll see. Possible final match. Possible 40 bomb.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there's any sort of Kami player that plays at the speed of Akira. Like, I was losing my mind watching him play the way he does in ranked off of his streams. I'm like, man, you make some real big decisions, but it pays off so much of the time for him that I'm like, you know what, young man, or I guess middle-aged man, you do you, brother. You do you. Oh. Good call out too against the Demon Raid. I'm loving this right now. Akira does get the pressure going. Despite a couple of hits initially in favor of TS, it's been in favor of Akira right now. Yeah, the counter hit, crouching jab. What a way to counter poke as well. A little bit faster than a devious crouching medium punch. The big whiff punish against the sweep. Very commonly used a lot of the time. Gets the side switch off of the OD spiral arrow. Akira, can you control it? No, back-to-back counter hits. He's blocking with his face. TS now letting the medium punches fly, countering the timing of Akira, falling just a little bit short. No anti-air. You saw a signing like it from the side of TS. Not prepared to let that uppercut rip, especially with that being that high above him.
The drive smasher towards the corner. No anti-air there. You know what? That's kind of a shallow angle. Might have been bad. Gets a pick with the back medium, nice and close. The back throw reversal jabs. Yo, TS is putting him up in the corner. I like these reversal buttons every so often. throwing the needle. Hard knockdown with the sweep. Not hard knockdown, excuse me, just a knockdown in general, though.
Bang, it's level 2. Hella damage incoming. Playing out of that burnout so well. A little expensive, but against Akuma, absolutely worth it. Initiating with the jump roundhouse, really testing TS when it comes to anti-air. He's just not, there we go, at the right angle, excuse me.
Like this corner carry, and you keep the drop gauge up. Stand light punch, was able to clip something. Base up the dive kick, wasn't able to get too much off. Perfect parry, trying to keep the drive gauge up as much as possible. That close to as well. Speedy on defense and on offense. Don't let him get too close. A perfect parry drive, jab. Might be dangerous. He actually is able to whip punish the forward fierce too far out.
On the way over, doing a really good job now, trying to keep TS contained. Now bringing it back to mid-screen. Akira for the first time pumping the brakes, playing a little bit passive, waiting for TS's approach. Empty jump, nothing.
There's a little forward though. Akira back fist into another spin drive smasher. Great meter management and putting a lot of hesitation. We did see a lot of DPs from TS, but every jump is like a mix, and you cannot DP in or anti-airing every single jump from Cammy, and Akira knows this. All that mental stack adding up, forcing out a little bit of a timeout right here.
Damn. The speed is just too much to keep up with. I will say, towards the benefit of TS's gameplay, his anti-airs have been very clean, right? I think he's done a great job of like gauging the distances of some of these dive kicks and DPing appropriately. I'm really enjoying that. So that's not necessarily a big threat. He's done a great job of blocking a lot of the OD dive kicks upon like a little bit after wake up from Akira and hasn't really been susceptible to that. I think his overall pacing against Cammy has been just fine, but Akira right now is proving to be a little bit too fast for him and also too smart in regards to having the life lead, right? You saw a little bit of impatience, you saw a little bit of that, I want to say naivete against the way that Akira wants to play. Like you would think offense, 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 like I can rush this guy down, he's going to try to swing. Not entirely so. Akira is doing a great job of showing both heavy offense and very, very smart defense and passiveness when he has the right resources.
Speaking of resources, he's been really good about spinning his bar at the bottom for like big leads, as you mentioned, to double the damage when need be to kill. You know, most gaming players, again, would like focus on like level 3 to kill, especially like a third round or second round sort of opportunity. He's like, I can make the win happen a different way. If I have some bar at the bottom, I can swing it back in my favor. I can maybe get a lead off like a level 1 or kill off a level 1. Maybe Akuma being low health kind of counts, but at the same time, I think it would count for anybody he plays. And you mentioned like the speed of his offense. The speed of his defense is good too as well. We saw him perfect parry OD fireball so close you could smell Akuma's breath. The fact that he perfect parried that close to keep up the drive gauge was immaculate. So that speed, that tempo isn't always about the offense. It's about the defense, about blocking things out, about going for the perfect parries when need be and having the right calls to keep up your drive gauge. Or if he's close enough, drive for a jab if he wants to for the offense to switch it off. We'll see if TS can find a way to keep up that pressure.
Damn, son!
Hey.
Hooligan? The only hooligan into the dive? Oh, he's taking so many liberties right now. My man, Akira, he's like, you know what? Take that time out, Playboy. You're gonna ice yourself. Oh, he is smoking this dude. Nah. No. Red Bull Tokyo Gaming Sphere is not gonna be shutting down early because of this man. These fans wanted to see some gameplay.
There we go, fight back. Stand light kick, to swing things around. Okay, there's the anti, backed up just a little bit to get the DP off. That quick tech, oh, I don't know if he thought a butt was coming through. It's an easy whip punch, the charge up and the side switch. Spin drive smasher, once again repositioning himself, using the resources properly. Did not get that stand fierce off. Oh, my man is swinging. He got hit with a hit and he's fine. He said, I'll swing right back at him. Perfect parry, that close. How do you play defense this fast? What?
Temporarily halted by the ODDP. TS is still very much so down in drive gauge. Does get at least one cancel to him, but it's going to be drive rush first. That back throw is going to be everything for TS to set the pace. And the crouching jab counter it. Akira swinging in places where he shouldn't be. TS utilizing that fast normal, getting the full flow of that counter hit, securing that second round.
So
DP, you know it.
Against a dive kick. Wow. Better and better. Too far for the crouching medium punch, unfortunately, to get that counter combo. Be a smidge closer, some of these counter hit scenarios. Close range fireball. Aye, backswing blow. No
More
way.
than enough. Look at the damage on top of it. Below the threshold of that 50% in the drive gauge bar with Akuma's low health, you know he is hella dead. Absolutely dead. No EWC guesstimations necessary. That's Akira, 2-0.
Dang, foot on the pedal. You can't stop. Akira, trying to make this a quick one, a 40 bomber. We'll see though.
Damn. Already off to a great start as Akira. Getting that forward throw is everything, right? Like TS slowly losing ground behind him. Now in the corner, how do you utilize your movement? As impressive as the walk speed is as Akuma, if you have nowhere to go, you're going to be susceptible to all of this pressure, and Akira knows it. A throw will do it as well. Not going to do it just yet, and the throw does it eventually after those lights.
He's about to go sit on the stands like a fan. It's that point. Akira, they can't stop him. Got a need for speed. Too fast and furious right now. Okay, as I say that, Punish getting off the jab to start things off, having Tatsu to take him towards the corner. DI right back at the last frame. Would be the speed bump. Have a kick Tatsu to end things off. Bar nice and juicy. ODP lets it rip, even with that low a drive gauge. Whip punches the sweep a little bit too far out though. Too predictive with it. You're dead.
Oh, and TS was feeling that round as well. You can see from his body language, all of the defensive aspects, the whiff punishes, even the continuation of the combo, he's feeling rather good. Counter it, not even gonna commit to it. There it is, punish counter, crouching medium. Now spending that bar, getting the roundhouse Tatsu, and this carry is going to be so impactful going into the level 2. The drainage of the drive gauge, the decimation of that life bar, and you get the Oki, the safe jump as well, knocking on the doors. Akira, let me out!
No, we getting in. TS finally gets the game on the board. And I like what he's swinging with. We see some of these counters come through when he's like threading the needle. At the very end, it was crouching medium punch to counter poke now. Instead of like stand light punch or crouching light punch where it might be a little bit too short. He's like, if I can play that 6 frame, I can get way more advantage off, way more damage. It's helping equalize. He's starting to keep up. Oh, missed the dive kick. Doesn't matter. So get the Oki.
Signs of life for sure. TS playing a whole different Akuma. A lot more activity coming in from these stand jabs too. Even the crouching ones. Wow, punish counter off with the crouching medium punch with a perfect parry against the crouching heavy. TS, he's on a streak. A lot of these blows really important against Akira.
Fireball disrupted. Spin knuckle that close though. Great call and prediction from Akira. Gonna chase the anti-air. We'll get the back throw off. The crouch shooting kick able to hit. Akira puts himself back on set point. They don't drop this. Nah, of course he's not gonna. The spin knuckle off like get the DP right after. Set point Akira.
Just about 2 bars for each, right? So any single, oh, perfect parry, just the wrong direction. Nice stop. And even better whiff punish. Close to level 3. Oh, you're actually gonna be dead. So dead. One more drive rush cancel. Uppercut, no, actually level 3 raw, my mistake. This might just be the perfect. What am I saying? It's Akuma, right? Bang, it is gonna be the perfect. Akira takes it home for the home team, HIROSHIMA team Igusa with the 40 bomber, skyrocketing them to 120 points against the rest of Division F.
いや、お見事。これはでももう納得。試合の内容めっちゃ良かったです。
Well done, well done. Yo, Hiroshima team Isuka, 40 bomber. He's too fast. We can't stop him. Doing it for the family. This guy, as you mentioned,
I was gonna say, like, even TS was trying to like match his speed too, like towards the end. Like that's why he got game 3, but even into game 4, you saw slight timidity and also some misplaced normals too. Just trying to swing against Akira, but that starter for Akira was everything. TS, the one time he tried to go for that ODDP, he got absolutely shattered. How was Akira ready for that?
It's like, I do that on the regular, man. I'm all about the ODP business, not you. But just in general, like even like playing at somebody else's pace and speed, if you're not accustomed to that as a continuation or as a continuous thing, especially like a longer set, it's got to be hard. You know, I feel like to keep up with somebody, you don't have that same sort of energy continuously. That's where Akira's able to run. He said, "This is where I rumble, bro. Like, this is what I do on a continuous basis." So, Akira scoring 20 points, 40 in total. Hiroshima Team Itsuka, 40 points, walking away with all the big butts in their pocket. But VARREL with nothing. This is kind of wild. I mean, VARREL's still the same team. I feel like they had some great picks on their side of things, even be on the away side, but it just didn't amount to much at all. So the matches were a little bit closer, as we saw with the Mago and the Delhi match. You know, TS did get one game on the board, but the positioning of the players who came up, that they were on the day-to-day, like their energy, it's just too much. Hiroshima Team Itsuka, they might be at the playoffs the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like Division F has been very adamant about trying to score these big 40 bombers, right? This is the second 40 bomber in a row for Hiroshima Team Ikusa, if I'm not mistaken, perhaps? Let me double check. So, Hiroshima Team Ikusa scored 30 in their first day, lost and scored 10 in their second day, got the 40 bomber against Fukushima IBUSHIGIN, and then does so again against a team that is also in contention for top 3, which they were starting into it, right? They were only 10 points behind from the top 2 teams. So this is phenomenal for them to get this many points this early on. You already know this is an entirely different Hiroshima Team Ikusa.
And look at like the previous stats. Honestly, Ikusa's been playing better on the home side, so this led to a really perfect day. You know, sun is shining out there. You know, the grass is, it smells great. You know, you can breathe the air. You walk into the venue just prepped and prepared, strong as hell. And it led to this. Everything, the stars aligned, led to this. Hiroshima Team Itsuka, super impressive. And we didn't even get to see Hibiki play. And honestly, I was with you. I thought Hibiki would play that match. I see him play the Akuma matchup so many times in Street Fighter League. Last year, he did well, even like in ranked or even during like, you know, like CPT events and stuff like that. He does well against the Akuma players. So I thought he'd play against TS and do just fine. I'm sure if he did come up, honestly, I'll be real, I think he would have won too. Maybe not as dominantly, but I'm pretty sure he would have taken it as well.
So this is definitely going to be something that is going to be on the radar for a lot of the teams here in Division F, right? Hiroshima Team Ikusa, with the way that Adeli's been playing, the way that Akira has been playing, the fact that they didn't even need to utilize Hibiki, and all under the guidance and tutelage of Aqua, who's playing a very high strong meta character right now. This is going to be such a difficult task. When we got into this season, Hiroshima Team Ikusa was not on the radar in regards to their strength, right? Having one rookie, having a character that may not be deemed within like a strong territory, like or within the strong territory is Lily, and that's just a fact, right? Like it really depends on how the player plays her, but in regards to results, we haven't seen Lily take it down as often, right? That is a fact. So this is actually quite a testament to how strong they've come together as a team, and also studying some of these matchups, right? It's not even just like the way that they're playing, but also picking and choosing what matchups to play. I really enjoyed their synergy in this week's performance.
Even Aqua coming up, you know, taking down YC Mochi, proving that he already knew how to fight Sim, but then a different type of Sim. Just his knowledge about the game, his knowledge about the matchups you mentioned, next level. I'll get the interviews here. Abiki says the first game was a good game. The second game was fantastic. Adley was in a bad situation for most of the game, and I would have won even if Akira lost. But it's great that we won straight. Oh, I like that energy. He's like, you know, if you would have lost, I would have won regardless. We would have walked away with points. Well, guess what, brother? You get 40 in total. You have to do a dang thing. Aqua said, I adjusted my tactics for Torameshi to Mochi. It was just really clean, cold game. Adley says it was a great game for him, but a great game for all of the games. It was good to know that our team has a high average.
High average is definitely the right choice of words, right? I think they've been playing very strong each and every one of these games and have like a very, very high chance right now, and even higher chance in getting themselves into playoff position, right? Although it's only week 4, there's only how many weeks in total? It's 10, right? So with how many games they have left, let me take a look at when the next time they're going to be playing. If I take a look at the season real quick. A little bit of a spoiler, by the way, so if you don't want to hear this part of it, feel free to cover your ears. Put those earmuffs on. They're going to be on the away side going up against ZETA Division. Now, we all know how powerful ZETA Division is, or how strong they were going into this season, but unfortunately with like Kakeru out of commission for a while, we don't know how impactful that's going to be towards the performance. So with that in mind, going into week 5, before all of the runbacks happen, they're going to be in a very strong position into the second half where they have to fight on the away side. I think 3 out of their 5 matches, so not too bad. Really not too bad of a position being at 120 points this early.
Dark horse no longer. Hiroshima too dominant right now, and they have to figure it out. And again, as we talked about, some of these players have been already talked about amongst like the streamers, the Street Fighter players that are streaming too as well, the ones that are involved in Street Fighter League and outside, that these cats are like top dogs for a reason. They're selling the players individually, and we've seen the hard work come to this. By the way, we'll run a little bit more of the interviews. Akira says, I'm gonna throw up right now. I lost at Anchor last time I went out. I didn't want to drop this game as well. Really thank Hibiki, who told me he's confident at the extra game just in case. And Aqua said, we're at the first ranking right now. We'd like to play throughout the first half like this. So the wild thing is Akira is just, he wears his heart on his sleeve. And I do like seeing a player like that. I always enjoy that kind of player. He's such a cool guy too as well. But I like that he had the energy to be like, you know, I'm feeling nervous. I don't want to lose again. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to play my game even better, which he obviously did. 40 points. Hiroshima Team Itsuka takes over VARREL. And the flip side of things, VARREL, they don't move. They have no points on their side of things, and so I have to wait until next time. They pull up to fight it out and get more. But it's getting about that time, about that halfway time. So it's starting to get a little bit more difficult to game. You need a game towards the playoffs. Remember, only 3 move through to the playoffs, so desperation going to start.
It might just start, right? I mean, they're going to have a little bit of an advantage going into week number 5, as they're going to be the home team, but they have to face off against DetonatioN FocusMe. And like matchup-wise, I don't know how that's going to play out, considering like the overall sequence or the overall team is like Itabashi Zangief, Goichi, Nauman, and Johnny Tak, right? I think all of those cats can really cover some of the matches that is going to be present within the VARREL camp. So it's going to be a hard call, but we're going to have to just wait and find out. But in the meantime, we obviously have to thank our sponsors that have been a huge pivotal part of Street Fighter League Pro Japan, but also very pivotal in regards to all of the local events, all of the tournaments that have been thriving out in Japan on a weekly basis. It's all thanks to Galeria, right? I was able to stream on one of these bad boys and test their power. I've had plenty of games with both Boss, Tasty Steve, and being able to play on this bad boy against a lot of other like locals online in Japan, I've had a great time being able to utilize such a hefty machine. So a big appreciation towards Galeria, our big sponsors going into it. And our next sponsor, obviously Suzuki. I know St. Cola is still trying to take a picture with that real bad motorbike. I know someone in the chat is looking for one as well.
Trying to make that happen, man. Yeah, I definitely want the jury one. I think the other one looks great, but I need the jury one. I'm not even a jury fan, but it's just that purple looks so clean, and it's Sperma City Cycle Power. So, you know, I definitely want to take a picture with that. Next event, hopefully at something coming up, if they have it out there, any of these events. They've been at a lot of big events like EVA, the Capcom Cups and stuff like that. So hope to see it just all around the world as they continue to support Street Fighter League Japan. So shouts out to them. It's good seeing these sponsors that aren't even like gaming based come through. And speaking of more game, there's a lot of game coming up on the 2nd, I think of November the 1st and 2nd November, if I'm not mistaken. That week at the very least will be happening for the last CPT event. We're going to have the next one, the second to last coming up, EVO France, and then this one, the one in China, pulling up as our final offline CPT event. So if you can't make it through your World Warriors, well, you can make it through right there to qualify. People, we have another match coming up. Reject versus DetonatioN FocusMe. Y'all better focus up. Grab some stacks and come right back, because when we return, more Street Fighter League action coming right at you. See you soon.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Shirensha Robotics 部門研究開発課ワーカホリック気味の研究主任。そんな私の秘密はある情報機関の潜入工作クリムゾンバイパー。それが私のコードネーム。手間かけさせないでね。暴れないでね。さっさと負けてくれない？次の仕事があるんだけど。やりましょうか。
大カプコン展ついに東京で開催。世界を魅了し続けるカプコン。ゲーム作りの裏側に迫る貴重な展覧会。新たなグッズも登場。詳しくは公式サイトで。
シベリア狙ってたかもしれない。
オッケー。
が板橋三岐をあと
入れ替えだ。
白投げで入れ替えつつイ
イメージはあるが
包みとはなりませんが、
インパクトくるよ。
チクチクきます。サインプレス。
はい、来たー。ナイス。
もう何押し戻したが、
はい、はいナイスジャンプ。でかい。
三岐ですが、光る。
はいよ。
おお、ラッシュ見てから。
はい、でかい。おいおいおいおい。
走り切れるか。
おいおい。
ただやはり試合の支配率の部分ではこれ光の立ち回りのうまさが光っています。
いやいや。
どっかついている。
ナイス。でかすぎる。ジャンプだけだ。おい。ナイスジャンプ。ちょっと取りました。玉かな。そうやね。玉が出て。わあ来た。
止めるんだ。これ。シシレイル出した。
エリークラシックでお願いします。
ナイス。
成功してます。返し行動をして
かけてくれ。
うまそう。
オッケー。ああ、
ここでしかし
うまい。
うまい。
集中パンチ打ち取れる。
うまい。
あー、最高っす。
これで 2-0。
いいよ。はい、レーシャーさんやぞ。
そのチャンス入れ替えですね。
ナイス。いやー、力強い。
ナイス。
ぐわ
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
After an explosive match one, you already know the second one is going to deliver just as hard. It's going to be Reject versus DetonatioN FocusMe. You saw the highlights from both teams. This one's going to be so hard to call, but that's where we come in. Sankola, along with Vicious, to bring out all the action. This is where it's going to get insane. I don't expect a 40 bomber. I do expect it to go down to the wire, and I'm hoping Daigo plays.
And I agree with all of those things, especially Daigo playing. I've been seeing him talk on his streams and have his little, you know, his content things on YouTube, where some of them are in English translation, by the way, so y'all should watch that. And just how he's been deciphering, trying to navigate his Akuma. It's always just a big threat to watch. Unfortunately, he had lost to Mago the last time that he played, but you know, someone like that is only going to get stronger and stronger after taking the L. And Lashar, of course, been a standout star. I wonder what he's going to be doing. I talked with him. He might be bringing up a certain sort of character. We'll see that a little bit later on. Right now, it's time to take a look at the team itself. That is Reject. It's the Beast. It is the Daigo. It is the GOAT. It is this man trying to get a handle of Akuma. Let's see if he can do so out here in the streets of Street Fighter League Japan. After that, it's attack on Heavy Tank. I'll tell you one thing, the rumbling is coming. It's Fudo on the Ed, or possibly the DJ, depending on the matchup. After that, it's going to be the Korean golden finger, always pointing to the skies for victory. It is Lashar on a multitude of characters and always staying so soft. Last but definitely not least, the man that's going to reject the limits and reject the L's. It's going to be Tokido on the Ken, but maybe also the JP. Will have to see what he brings to the table. Whatever it is, it's how to reject them L's, like I said, because they need as many points as possible. They were sitting at second coming in. They need to be at first place position to be comfortable. Fingers up, boys.
Reject the limits. I like that phrase, and I love this composition. However, I love the personalities behind this team coming in for the home team this week. DetonatioN, FocusMe. These guys have such a heavily stacked team as well. When we talk about Reject, obviously star-studded. This team, however, big brain power. Let's get into it, shall we? DetonatioN, FocusMe. Starting things off with player number one. It's going to be the young man, the babyface trickster, John Takeuchi, who's brought in a couple of surprises lately, right? We've seen his Rashid for sure, but he might have that Jamie in the pocket, along with the Jade Flame. It's Nauman coming up to step to the plate as well. The man who's been so much so on the grind for every fighting game he touches, the unprecedented Goichi, and still considered the meal ticket, the Cyclone Commander, Hirabashi Zangief, coming in with this explosive, mentally ready, and also, I want to kind of say stacked with their characters. That kind of team is what's going to offer the challenge for Team Reject. I'm kind of curious to see what the order is going to be like from both Reject side and how the home team's going to be picking.
Let's take a look what Reject's going to pick up first. Obviously on the away side, they're going to pull up their characters and players. We see so that Daigo, as you mentioned, especially in that first position, or at least in a position where it's not an extra game. It's the order. Reject reveals Lashar to start things off with the Ed, Daigo with the Akuma, Fudo with his Ed in anchor position, and Tokido with the JP. What do you think about this?
Is this what you were talking about with Lashar? Because you said he was gonna bring like a different character to the table. I feel like it feels like it's back to normal.
Yeah, where's the mind, bro? He said, I'm bringing back my mind. I'm like, all right, I'll wait and see, you know, but I guess he feels like the Ed is a better pick for right now. And maybe things will switch off. Maybe if it's an anchor position or things go bad, but right now it's the Ed. It's fine. I think, you know, him coming through with Ed or Terry, whatever character, I guess it really doesn't matter. All of his characters are ridiculous. But the order, though, I do like this composition overall. I think it has a lot to say against a lot of the characters on DetonatioN FocusMe. Against Marisa and Geef, it's a pain in the butt. Against Cammy, from what I hear, or I'm sorry, against Chun-Li, from what I hear, it's a pain in the butt. And against Rashid, somewhat. I hear some of the Rashid players don't like the Ed matchup too much either. So I like the composition having a lot of Ed on your squad overall.
Ah, we called it earlier. John Takeuchi. He's been practicing a lot of that Jamie if you check out his CFN. And it's going to be the choice specifically for Ed. I have always wanted to know how this matchup goes at a high level, and what a way to kind of show that off. John Takeuchi flexercising that Jamie in this week is truly a sight to behold. I'm very excited to see. I mean, John Takeuchi did the same thing last week. That Jamie going up against Taguchi's Guile was so star-studded. I actually don't think there was a lot of aggression that went towards at the very beginning of that matchup, and he was also able to tame it down playing against Higuchi's pacing. So I think, I don't think it's too far-fetched to kind of consider playing the same way between Guile and Ed with the amount of control that both have. Sure, it's in different ways, but if you look at the exact ranges that Ed wants to play at, it's not too far off with the way Guile wants to play at, too.
Yeah, it's similar. You know, instead of fists, it's fireballs, switch up. But in terms of, I feel like, trying to clip a limb, like having a dive kick might be like a determiner for him in terms of him switching from Rashid over to Jamie. And he's been practicing this character. It might even be like a comfortability thing. Like he's been playing this character so much, he's getting it ready to fight whatever comes his way. And so maybe it's a matter of just like, I feel more comfortable than playing Rashid and trying to get in, and the fireballs aren't working, drive rush button isn't working. At least if I get one drink, I have a dive kick. If I have two drinks, I can Bakai spin through a fireball if I have the timing. It's very hard because that is very started compared to other anti-fireball things. But Lashar has been something else recently. Obviously, he lost his first game. I think that was against Mochi, if I'm not mistaken. No, excuse me. He lost against Momochi. Then he won against Akira. Then he lost against White Shimochi. Oh, no, he won that. Never mind. Excuse me. I read that wrong. So he's 2-1 right now in terms of victories. And it's supposed to have been the Terry. The last time he played Ed was the mirror match. So it's the first time we've seen him against a character that's not a mirror match with the Ed.
I don't know. Is he still on the joke train, by the way? Like last week when they were in the Tokyo Gaming Sphere, the Red Bull Gaming Sphere, John Takeuchi said, if I don't start off with a joke, I usually tend to lose. So going forward, I'm going to have to say a bunch of jokes. I guess that's what he's going for right now. I kind of caught wind of it a little bit, but man, I guess he's trying to like live to the moniker of like babyface trickster. It's interesting to see that Lashar is going in with the Ed right now. I don't know if it's going to solicit any sort of counter pick, because I do like Terry being able to stop Jamie a lot more so than Ed. But I want to say, I think there's going to be a lot of reliance on getting that first initial drink. Like having access to dive kick is going to be so important. I think more so than Bakai. I don't find the practicality of Bakai strong in this matchup, because I think Spark Fireball could be a little bit too slow. Spark can also be a non-committal thing. I think Flickers can also run the same type of course as well, even further out. Like you see him kind of charging up. I don't think committing to a Bakai would ever stop Ed, right? They could just kind of kill rush backwards, get a full punish with how extensive their reach is against Bakai. So I think that would be more so as like a combo extender for that damage, and also for setup, like being able to double dash forward after Bakai is very important. So I think the first initial jink is going to be a very big difference in this matchup for Jamie.
That's a good point. Some dive kicks going. Catch a stand, beat a kick if you can. Get the heavy right here. Sweep, swig. Of course, as you mentioned, get that drink right off the rip. It's gonna be a punish. Unfortunate. Gonna put him up in the corner. The throw. Personation with the dropper step fierce. Oh no! Not able to get that back to the reposition. We will avoid that throw.
Oh, what a time to poke out too. There was no time for John Takeuchi to actually press any button afterwards. A little bit too far out. Preemptive. Low normal coming in from Lashar to get that first game. Very expensive though.
Like him prioritizing, as you said, getting that one drink just as much as possible. That dive kick going. It's heavy as a meaty. Knocked off the kill rush. Nice and close with the throw. Going green just to press the issue. Oh, tagging him with the big buttons. That looks significant to kill though. Or he's close to.
Oh, we could have got the continuation jungle, by the way. That jump roundhouse put Lashar into a jungle state. I don't know if he could have done like sweep. I'm pretty sure he could have done sweep to continue it.
Oh. Okay, level 3 off the toe tap. That corner sense sort of situation. Drive rush, inside kick.
Look at the damage. Knocking on the doors. I thought there was going to be a command grab. Lashar probably thought the same, hence why the second jab hit. I wonder if standing light punch would have been within range. I actually missed it. Knocking on the door, trying to force that burnout, which he does. Tough spot to be in. Level 2, hella chip incoming for the side switch. Gonna go for a flicker chip. I'm gonna be backing away. Lashar trying to play that range. You saw the startup of the palm getting interrupted. Lashar, very convincing first game.
Love him using level 2 just to get the side switch, put a lot of chip on it, obviously. Didn't get the kill, but he had all that room if he needed to back away, play the range that he would like to have. First game to him. Sean's getting the drinks, but needs a lot more damage access, a lot more points. Stand fierce, sweep, swig. Now you're up in the corner. Dive kick, too far out. Walk back. Slightly punish right there from Lashar.
Kind of tough pacing, right? This is exactly what we talked about. Jamie not really able to play at the pace of Ed too consistently. Although he has the life lead, right? Lashar is actually been doing okay. A pretty decent job up until this point. John looking for Lashar's movement. Instead, he's the one that jumps in. OD dive kick. Missing the follow-up. Oh, big punish counter too on the way in.
Punish counter. Took care of that drive gauge. It's all gone. Sean forced to back off. Dive kick, but too far in the distance. Easy pickup for this kind of character. Flicker not gonna go for the kill rush at all. Delay jab, trying to find an opening. Gets it on the counter hit. This should be it. Yes, sir. Level 1. Psycho speed bag. Set point Lashar.
Man, his winning animation is so cool.
It's kind of dope. Throwing the minus frames.
The forward throw. What do you do now, though? Right? We're trying to find that opening. Shin kick.
It's so hard to apply any buttons. Drive rush stand fierce might get interrupted even though it's very quick. The economy of buttons have been just so well for Lashar. That flicker also problematic. The dive kicks haven't really been hitting anything significant. Quite a few throws here and there, but nothing big. All whip punish. Ready with it. Crouching medium kick. Level 1. B-boy beat down.
Back towards the corner. You know this is gonna hurt too. Single bounce. How is he so consistent with that?
This man's a machine. Welcome throw again. John able to attack. Throw does not connect. Level 2 activation. Try reversal. It's a bait.
Oh!
It's holding parry. Oh,
he tried to command grab.
Command grab. Got back throw. Oh, what do you mean?
No.
Oh, drive rush medium was going to be able to kill, though. Lashar. So lucky to not get command grab, but still. Pure dominance in that game. 2-0. Wow.
So much domination too. Actually, so many interruptions against John Takeuchi in those last final instances. And even if he managed to land both the command grab or even like some of the counter conversions that he could have had, it was just too much to come back from. Lashar, a very dominant 2-0 yet again. after what, back-to-back performances this week, he has been on a hot streak, actually. Technically, he's got 8 games straight.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Wow. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
I can't count.
Wait.
It might be 7. It might be 7? No, okay. It is 8. Because I forgot he was back-to-back anchor.
It's 8.
I don't know how to count, dude.
Yeah, he lost the first game, and then he went from there just on an absolute streak. But it feels like it's so hard for Jamie to get started at all. Like the buttons, trying to find the time. You're waiting for them to apply their buttons and whiff, and that was the only time we felt like, you know, Lashard was on the back foot, and it was so momentary. 10 points. Detonation is so far starting with 0. To sit up against Daigo, I almost want to say Itabashi. And one of the recent videos that Daigo did, he was like, I'm having a hard time against my muscle Marisa. He's like, I'm having a hard time fighting that character. I don't have the practice. I don't have a game plan. It's going to be Nauman instead. All right. Switch up to some Ken or Mai. Oh, it's Mai. Huh.
Yeah, I might have cursed myself, or I might have like jinxed the chat when I said no Mai today. That was only for the first match. But yeah, man. Nauman coming in with the Mai. I actually want to see how Daigo traverses this matchup, right? There have been a pretty good standing record of like Mai's against Akuma in both divisions, and I feel like Mai's been getting like the better of the overall record in match spread so far. But if I really take a look at it so far, even from like day number 1, some of the Mai's have been kind of drowning. Like Nauman has definitely been one of them. He lost to Hibiki 2-0. The next time we saw Mai was Tsubasa versus Nauman. That was a mirror match, and that was just Nauman getting the more experienced matchup in regards to like player to player. So that was weird that Tsubasa actually even went Mai in the first place instead of a jury. And then in week number 3, I think we were Mai free. I think we were definitely like Mai free.
It's like a disease. I took my pills. I'm Mai free for the week. I'm feeling great. Okay, so for Daigo stuff, the only time that Daigo's played was like the extra match. He played against Mago, and that was 2-1 for Mago's favor. So that's the first time we've seen Daigo outside of the extra match, and the second time we've seen him fight it out. So he needs a W. I think though, when I think about Mai's, like if there's a character that can fight her, we talk about it a lot. Akuma can do it. He's got the dive kicks to catch bad fans that are thrown. He's got fireballs that can definitely take down those fans even better. He's got buttons that can play around her buttons. He's got great walk speed. If he does the perfect parry against like one of the fans, he has one of the better DPs to reach outside the distance to avoid the follow-up. So like this character can definitely do it. But is Daigo ready for it? I mean, Daigo's ready for everything on paper, but in terms of a match, we haven't really seen him have that sort of swing into things in terms of like Street Fighter 6. I think overall, he himself has said he is getting better about realizing what to do with the Akuma. He can't just sit back and throw fireballs. He's going to get more active and aggressive. He's learning when to do so. So I'm hoping that this is one of those times where he's able to gain some points on the board and get some W's. But Daigo said, I was expecting Itazan. Hey man, so was I. But I was ready for Mai as well. If Tokido JP comes ready, then the season will end. So I'll wait until that. So he believes in Tokido's JP. Okay. Watching his JP evolve, I can see it. I can see it.
What's also kind of wild, like he said he's prepared for it too. He would have loved to play in Division S because there are so many Mai's that he could play against, right? So many times he could prepare himself. Like literally every week, every day of Division S, there's at least 2 Mai's on the board. Funny enough, I think there's only been 1 instance of Mai versus Akuma in Division S, and I think that happened in the first week. I don't recall seeing any other time where it was Mai versus Akuma. As a matter of fact, I might actually be lying. I don't see a single Mai versus Akuma on my spreadsheet. When it comes, oh, okay, there actually was one. It was Ryukichi versus Mochi. It was Victrix, Favu Gaming versus Nagoya and Speed Ojo in the second match, and it was Ryukichi taking down Akuma from Mochi like 2 games straight. Let's see if that kind of transitions over. Let's see if that applies. If that matchup is going to be the same kind of result. But Daigo looking kind of different lately, right? With the last couple of exhibitions that he's been a part of. I wonder if he's got it down pat. Oh, that was mad late.
The DI, no. He said, I recognize my faults. I'll find a way out of them. Back throw, switches it up. Oh, went for the stay fierce, though. Send the button. Kagero no Mai. Walks up to wake up, crouching medium kick, back throw again. That's the enhancement, though. Daigo does not care. Walk up block. What he fireball? He's in. Plus frame scenario, the throw. Spent quite a bit of bar. He's in burnout too.
Oh, that walk speed's so devious. OD for life, by the way. For lethal, Nauman, you dog.
Perfect parry. Tatsu towards the corner. Just the medium one drive rush though. A little bit more ambiguous what he's gonna do again. So another throw off the drive rush. Oh, he gets a pickup with the OD fireball.
Oh, no crosscut. You saw the crouch jab. Either way, Daigo trying to be a little bit more, I guess, stubborn with some of these fireballs. A big jumping down from Nauman. Oh, what a delayed back roundhouse. Daigo not giving him any inch, at least on defense. Willing to take the grab. No uncheck here. Level 2, punish counter, a hole in your chest. For the rest of the round, you're not getting that award today, sonny boy.
Not that level 2. Like always having some bar at the bottom, the reversal scenario. Shimmy with the finesse of West, the crouching medium punch. 6 frame with the quickness. In there. Drive rush crouching light kick with some hesitation on the backdash. Clutch to avoid the throw. Back to mid screen. Calls out the tap parry. Drive rush stand medium for the plus frames. It's backing off. The charge of fireball so smart to catch him holding that parry scenario. And the DI. Mine's going to land. Double dash up. Crouch fears Tatsu. No bar build up enough for level 3. Next hit to be victory. Wait, did it hit? It did. He tried to go for a throw.
Oh, he might be dead. He's hella dead. What am I saying? Again. Wake up reversal for game. Nauman, you dog.
So last season, it felt like every time he was in the corner, like Nauman would just make the correct reads for some reason. Like fighting to kill with the kin on kin. We saw that mirror match, able to survive the corner. Putting Daigo in the cemetery. First game to him though. That meaty stay medium. Nice follow-up, heavy kick Tatsu. Not gonna spend any drive gauge just yet. That's punishable.
Giving him a taste of his own medicine, the ODDP. It's only a matter of time until Nauman finds an explosive opening. Will Daigo give it to him though?
I mean, maybe waiting for some bar. Oh, stand like kick OD fireball. Wow, raw crouch fierce. The cries, Oki still there.
What a perfect parry for the interruption. No need to worry about damage scaling. Nauman had more than enough in the tank regardless.
What? How many overheads need to land right now on Daigo? Becomes a problem. Nauman opening up with the overhead, drive rushing in, taking the foot on the gas right now. All the pressure delay a little bit too much. Gonna go for the back throw though. Tick hit. Reversal jabs again. Nauman has been so well in terms of reversals up in the corner. Button, ODDP, wake up super.
That's tough too. He's got 3 more fans to chuck out if need be, right? Yeah. Daigo can't afford to make any sort of mistakes with fireballs either. Excellent block. Daigo's hanging on by a thread. Nauman not willing to let go of resources. Obviously, he's getting those parries down pat. He has to be perfect with it.
He's walking to the corner though. Daigo pressing the issue, trying to go for that back throw. Don't touch me. Can't afford my chain. His fans.
He's still throwing a
trying to land
fireball.
something significant. But you can't overhead, not that distance. Nauman caught that clean as day. Perfect play. Any sort of starter, oppression starting at all. In the defense up in the corner, Nauman. Once again, man, what do you do? When that guy's in the corner, I feel like he gets 10 times stronger. Gets a little bit of a Zenkai boost. Wow.
Daigo just looking over here is like, well, I mean, I tried. He took the headset off, looked at his teammates, he's like, what do you want me to do, dog? Like, we're on defense. We're on the away side, man. What did you actually want me to do? I prevented him from getting these DIs, man. Like, I tried, man. Oh, that's rough, man. And also, in all honesty, like, who would have called Nauman busting out with back-to-back big reversals, right? It was ODDP in the first round, then it was level 3, as you see here, critical art at that. Nobody could have like anticipated that. And mind you, Daigo at 50%, he was still in the green. Somebody said he had no resources left. Daigo definitely had resources left.
He could have fought back. If he was still alive, somehow that could have been a way around. But even right here, like he tried to use like things like OD Fireball, but Nauman did not falter in a bad sort of way, right? Like he was not like, okay, I'm gonna throw out a bad Fireball to allow you get in after, you know, Daigo throws out his OD Fireball. Nauman's like, I'm chilling, I'll cool, I'll hold parry, I'll block it out. My timings will be different. I'll keep up with that Fireball pace. So it's well deserved by Nauman. Now it's 10-10. Now Tokido unfortunately doesn't get the play. I want to see the JP, especially in a Street Fighter League sort of set, but that will not happen. I'll have to save it for a different day. Anchor position, Fudo. Goichi. Makes sense to me. What's the character though? Chun-Li. Word.
That is a fair character. That is the fair choice, honestly. I feel like we've seen this before, like somewhere else outside of League, in regards to Goichi versus Fudo specifically in this matchup. I think it was like not too long ago either. I can't remember what stream it was on. It's at the tip of my tongue. No, I mean like real recent. But either way, looking at DetonatioN FocusMe, like Goichi has also brought out the Kami last week against Momochi's Ed. I can understand like where your surprise is because Goichi ended up demolishing Momochi's Ed 3-1. I don't know if you guys recalled that, but Goichi bringing it back to the Chun-Li, going back and forth with this character is, I guess he has a specific strategy in mind for Fudo.
Yeah, I think whenever Goichi comes up, or most of these players in general, if they come up with a matchup that isn't as strong or they have like a secondary pick that would be better for them, you kind of expect them to have something behind them, but even more so for Goichi. You know, the type of cat that we saw at EWC that would run matchups that aren't so good for him, but have like a strategy against a player, against certain moments. Obviously, he had a strategy against Tokido where you DI him continuously. It is what it is over there with that. But like, I feel like if he's coming up, he's got something for this Ed, this particular type of Ed. Fudo is definitely different than other Ed players. You know, a lot of them may play a little more hinky-firmy game. They play more patient. Fudo gets active. There's like a domain that he enters. We talk about this all the time, where he just gets active, aggressive with buttons and things like that. And it leads to people just being thrown off guard completely. And with a character like Ed, it definitely helps out that you have such good economy of buttons if you spend them well. Your reward is really good. Your bar build-up's really good. He's willing to go for level 3 more often than level 2 if he needs a kill. He is a type of Ed that wants to murder the opponent more often than not, than kind of will them down. So I want to see what Goichi has against him with Chun-Li, because typically Chun-Li players are trying to avoid this matchup. As you mentioned, Kami was a pick against an Ed, so I wonder what it's going to be that Goichi is going to present that is so different to fight Fudo.
That's a valid question. If you're thinking about like the overall matchups that Goichi has had this season, looking back at it, he had to face against Adley's Ed. It went down to the wire, right? I don't think the strategies behind Goichi's pick with Chun-Li aren't too far off from success if he's managed to get like a very close game, very close set against one of the rising stars of this season. So I'd imagine this is one of those things where Goichi had taken it back to the lab after that L, going between Chun-Li and Kami. He's like, you know what? I kind of want to challenge my Chun-Li a little bit more and find out what I can do to actually figure out this matchup better. I don't think that a Kami playstyle or a Kami choice from Goichi's playstyle is going to be enough to deter Fudo's activity, as you had mentioned. Fudo's, I guess, his nature when sensing someone's fear is like higher than most, right? I think his instinct and intuition is much higher than most, hence why he's in so many like great positionings to whiff punish you, to get his pressure going and also get into the corner and feel just impossible to escape sometimes.
Waiting for the players. He switches it up. Like you hit him with something, immediately he's in a different beast, different mode. Falling fireballs right now. Fudo said it's the third end of the day. I like Goichi to watch my experienced moves. Rocked this character for a long time. Gets the crumple still skin, but no pickup. ODDP on the wake up though. Goichi want to spin that far to get some distance.
Yeah, Goichi's got a lot of pressure on himself already, right? He said it's up to me. I'll win and win the match. Considering both are at 10 points right now. Very slow pace from both, despite what you're seeing on the screen right now. The resources are more so in Fudo's favor. He's at the life deficit, but he's got Goichi in the corner. He's got him pretty much at 3 bars. What a DI call out. Goichi with the side switch as well.
So jabs happen. Some distance on the back rise. Pressing the issue after the Oki. Walking back. Goichi's been doing a lot of backwalk fireballs. Now Fudo trying to walk him down. Trying to go for the OD. A little too fast. Try for a step fierce. The kill rush back.
Yeah, finding himself in the corner yet again. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, trying to drive rush behind it. You actually might be dead. The fact that he got the pickup off of the perfect frame flicker is so impressive. Fudo is just so ready.
Oh no! Stand medium kick. Unfortunately, gonna get DI'd. Nothing behind it. It's big damage. Goichi taking it back with 5 seconds on the clock. Oh man, he was doing so good until it went so wrong.
Yeah, being able to check that. That drive rush is not going to be unchecked for free. That is for damn sure. Having to spend that bar is Goichi. But with that pushback and the amount of damage he's already instilled against Fudo, he's willing to walk back, gain some of that drive gauge. It's up to Fudo to utilize the space or at least walk up to Goichi.
It's true. Back throw, reposition once again. As soon as he gets in, he's out of there. Goichi holding his ground. Oh! Trying to go for a heavy kick. I saw him rush forward and cut jumped in on Fudo. So at level 1, trying to lead up a little bit. Nice interruption. Meaty spark. First one to land. Yeah, maybe too slow on the anti-air. That's fine. Just chill out for a little bit. Fudo's still lacking in health though. Footsies with the flicker, drive rush flicker. Add some variance on it.
Oh my god, gets the back throw. He gets to set the pace all over again.
Does kill? It does!
100%.
Wow, what a 4 medium punch interrupt the Cobra strike. Goichi has had pure dominance. Okay, now I see the vision. Walk back, get your bar back, get the space up. Variants of fireballs. It's hard for Fudo to get aggressive, and we haven't really seen Fudo land too much damage. He's got some sequences off. Not a lot of sauce behind him. What are the adjustments here? Fudo, can you make more of what happens up in the corner? Can you avoid those back throws? OD flicker to start things off against a fireball. 4 fierce, double dash up. Too short with the jab though.
Oh. Again, being able to set like the pace like this is so difficult for Fudo, I feel like, to encroach in that space, because you have so much space to walk forward and you're thinking to yourself, it's like, all right, I can push Goichi into the corner. Problem is, Goichi's played in the corner so well, at least up until this point. I absolutely jinxed him.
Mad curse. I like that Fudo's already wise to the decisions that have been going on from Goichi to try to realign himself a little bit. DP, the bust off to the flicker. No guessing games here. Back to once again, we see that happening so much where now Goichi trying to gain that ground, get the bar back. It's hard for him like perfect parry and like jab or do a button. It's hard to play that sort of game because there's too much room and Ed don't have the fastest drive rush. That's gonna be a punish and a half. Could have been worse, but you know what? You're up in the corner. Ooh, big bait, big reward. Fudo, the call out.
This is kind of rough. At least it feels like it's kind of rough for Fudo, despite getting that first round and the amount of life he had, but he's slowly making these adjustments, right? Like, he's willing to play the pace that Goichi sets, and it's so hard to do so consistently. Because Goichi could turn it up, right? Now he's a little bit more aggressive. He's not giving up as much space, and now he's checking these drive rushes, right? Now that Fudo sees Goichi within line, he's trying to be a little bit more adamant with, like, or not adamant, sorry, aggressive with some of these drive rushes.
Yeah, you saw him using the fireball to cover his 6, you know, drive rushing right after it. Trade. Looking for the strike throw. Goes for the throw. With DP on the bust out. Attacks it with the crouching medium punch towards the corner. He's like, you're not going to do it again. Goichi didn't.
Try me. Leg DP. Look at all the spacing that Fudo's checking Goichi at, right? Like, he is slowly draining bit by bit that drive gauge with some of the normals. Flip it back into action. Drive rush forward. He spent a lot of bar for that. Uh-oh. Damn, it's Wake Up Critical Art City. The influence from Naoin. Now showing up against, or showing up from Goichi.
Slight lead, a lot of bar to utilize too as well. The drive rush up if he needs to. Apply pressure, which he does so. Let's stay in medium to finish things off. Round and game up so far for Goichi. I like that, a lot more activity here. A lot more variance from Goichi's side of things.
Oos.
Oh, Hasashi, he's the flicker. Little spinning bird kick, get the Oki right after it, the toss. Back against the wall. Goichi want to take that space once again.
Look at the patience. It's so annoying to play against Goichi, and like Fudo's starting to like really trying to weather the storm against the way Goichi's playing.
We're trying to turn it up a little bit more. He backed off to do drive rush overhead. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you were ready for that?
Not taking no throws.
My man Fudo was ready for that too. The fake out brought by Goichi into the Hazanchu, and it was a perfect parry from the side of Fudo. What a beast. Uh-oh.
Exceptional. OD. The throw right after though, perfect parry. The flicker.
Oh.
It's his game to win.
Off the wall perhaps? No, he's gonna sit there and take it. Oh, he barely gets it back! No way! Goichi getting all of his drive gauge back, punishing Fudo accordingly. He thought he was gonna get away with murder. Not against Interpol's own Chun-Li. That was actually so sick. Goichi's defense prevails.
And they say blocking does not matter in this game. The fact that he blocked all that out got his drive gauge back even faster. And at the very end, as soon as he saw the green gauge back, he said, I'm getting aggressive. I'm getting active with it. What awareness to like, just hold tight. Just be like, okay, cool. I'm going to block it out. I'm going to avoid what I can. I'm going to get chipped out too much and strike back right at that last second. Perfectly done. Oh my God, the defense from Goichi, don't matter what game it is next level. It's beautiful. Damn.
Damn, son. What a beast. What an actual beast. And like the chip damage that was incurred, or at least the I want to say like the normals that were like hitting against Goichi was like slowly building up that damage, right? Or slowly building up that drive gauge for him too. I was actually rather impressed, man. This is actually insane to see.
Man, if I was Fudo, I'd be so salty though. After perfect pairing that Azanchu, after having him in burnout, after having all the meter to work with, Goichi's defense prevails. And it's that annoying factor that you mentioned. It's so hard to keep up with Goichi, what he wants to do. Remember, he did back walk into drive rush overhead. Like after all this time, he's been back walking and throwing fireballs. Then he turns it up. He gets aggressive. He shows you something different. Gets active. Things like that are like, bro, why are you like this? But not in like a scrubby way, but more like you're playing one way, you're switching up so quickly, like there are too many things going on. This man Goichi is a champion.
Yeah, this is rough, man. This is actually kind of rough for Fudo. Like, just look at the way that the pace is set. Like, Goichi is, as you said, playing like a champion. I think he's been very, I want to say, disciplined towards his Street Fighter 6 momentum. This is like the most I've seen him play ever, right? And he's balancing multiple games. Heck, he has to get ready for Atlanta real soon, right? Like, he has just been so gung-ho towards so many of these games. And it's so impressive to see him evolve, because he was in a little bit of a rut in the first couple of seasons as Chun-Li, but I think it goes with time, like being able to develop the matchups as you get more information out there, right? We're starting to see an influx of changes towards like how these matchups are developed by some of the players in Japan, and this is definitely one of those examples too.
It's like the meta, like how the game is played in terms of, you know, when you think of like the first season, very active, very aggressive. There's a lot of defense that happens at high level. People definitely forget. You see it right there. Perfect parry. Couldn't get the crouching mini kick right after though. I do like the idea and the intention, Goichi. But yeah, in terms of like defense, I think this game has evolved quite a bit in terms of like the defensive decisions, and now bring the DI for some offense.
Oh. That was a pretty solid call out too from Fudo. Still committing to that OD uppercut against Goichi, kind of flashing that light after that drive rush. Big punish counter as well. Getting that duff. Checking the movement again! Counter conversion from Goichi. That was actually so far that it hit from the second part of that crouching fierce.
What was the danger? The first part, it's whatever. That second part, which scored so much. Good neutral tool. What you playing that way? So nice interruption though. That's not enough. I'll be tricked no longer. Stops the drive rush with the stand, a medium kick, staves off set point. Fudo trying to lock in. Well, you better clock in. Goichi's on one right now. DI
Punish counter.
Oh my God, how many times?
No contest. That was 100% a punish counter. I definitely saw the words pop up on the screen. Goichi calling out, damn, and the overhead mad delayed. Into the level 3. So close to burnout as well. Sonten Ranka, how do you pursue? Do you go aggressive? No, you wait. Goichi being so annoying, and I love it.
Okay, in and out. Flicker range. Trying to test him. Now walks in, crouching with a kick drive rush. Walking back again. Ends the turn with the 4 fierce Cobra strike. There's that fireball every so often, disrupting the rhythm, forcing out the flicker. But if you do that too often, that might be another DI. Nice interruption. Damage is racking up. Goichi backing up to get the bar back. Drive rush, sweep, overhead. You're at burnout, and that's gonna be it. Yo, Goichi,
So
set
smart.
point.
He's so smart, man. He did fireball, drive rush into sweep to make sure that Ed couldn't do anything outside of that spark. What a punish from that far. Goichi looking so clean.
Liking this vision, but it's not over yet. Fudo got bar to work with. Haven't seen anything dreamy just yet. Gotta put Goichi down for nap time.
I don't even think that's gonna be the case. We do get a fireball that does land off of the OD. A delay! Oh, no big conversion though.
And more after that jab, but guess not. Dash up, just get the DP off. The spacing has been so perfect from him right now. In normal fireballs, no OD necessary. Trying to drive rush up. Got interrupted. However, Fudo has it over the corner. He's got to make some magic happen. Oh, what's going to happen right now? Heavy starter. He baited out the ODDP. Level 3. String him up.
That was actually kind of wild, man. He got the triple drive rush cancel combo into maximum damage. Goichi throwing it all on the line with that OD uppercut. Like, I don't blame him for doing so. It's not something that's been, I guess, like, tracked too much in this matchup. So Fudo being ready for that is insane when it comes to the instinctual level.
There's so many options we've seen presented from the side of Fudo. He's tried like a throw, looking for a medium punch, things like that. So you're worried about the next interaction that will kill you, or at least close to killing you. So it makes sense to see Goichi kind of rely upon that ODDP, because I think it's only been baited maybe once, if that. You know, the rest of the times be able to bust out in between OSs or in between like a drive rush string, or in the corner just fine. But I still think that Goichi has such a big lead in terms of like the dominance of the neutral. I think there's more mistakes on the side of Goichi that are leaving damage on the table, or like that DP, than there are Fudo just finding ways to outplay him. Like, it's still in the favor of Goichi in my eyes right now, so far at least.
It feels that way too. Like, I kind of wonder what Fudo's gonna have to do like going forward. Like, it's actually kind of wild to see like how Fudo has been so pressed in, not even just like pressed in a sense that Goichi's not playing like offense entirely. It's more so pressed by time and pressed by Goichi's defense. I've never seen anybody sweat this hard fighting against somebody who's been so passive.
A lot of people would say there's like a walk-back simulator type thing when it comes to Street Fighter, but like that's such a different call than what Street Fighter 6 used to be, beginning where it's pure aggression, dash up, drive rush, yada yada. So I like seeing players have different sort of styles out here. Obviously, there are ways to counter that. Obviously, you can make the magic happen if you put him up in the corner, but Goichi's defense then kicks in. That's the problem. Most players, if they walk back like this, are walking themselves towards their doom. Goichi's like, hey man, I'm walking into the proper spacing, the anti-air, so I can throw fireballs off. So if I get in the corner, I have like 5 or 6 different game plans. I'm doing great. No one can do it like Goichi. Anyone walking back like this at high level, I don't think anyone can do what he is doing right now with this sort of game plan. And I see the vision with this matchup. We'll have other matchups, I don't know, but even right now, though, the dominance against someone like Fudo who likes to get active, get aggressive, he can't even get in the area, the zone, to start that. He can't even get into his comfortability area for that to even happen.
Man, it's hard to see how this is going to develop, honestly. Goichi taking this timeout is just so imperative towards like readjusting the strategies going forward. I can't even imagine what his teammates can actually tell him about this match.
Yeah.
Like, there could be moments where Fudo could just show a different side and just completely obliterate him. Like, he could be aggressive, right? It could be a different look on offense, but it really feels like a coin flip between these two, right?
Man, Goichi, that defense though. I'm wondering what Fudo, like, what's the adjustments here? Does he have to spend more OD fireball gauge, just get a knockdown? Does he have to take maybe more space with some double dash? But that risk is so dangerous. That forward medium punch, I could clip you. Like, there's so many different things that Goichi's presenting. The annoyance right after he gets a knockdown. Doesn't really get aggressive. Does whip punish the stand and crouching to kick. Excuse me. Fudo has him up in the corner. Bait the first one of this round baited.
Look at this. This is the exact aggression we were talking about. Making all the right decisions against Goichi. What happens if it's a different Fudo? We're literally answering that question right now. A perfect starting this off in game number 4.
So it'll be fireball, trying to switch it up a little bit. Goichi able to block it out though. The dash up.
Resetting the timing too.
Oh,
the handshake. Does get the counter hit, excuse me.
Stall medium fierce.
That's heavy, heavy.
Uh-oh. Side switch. Oh, he's able to shimmy him by a micro walk back.
Back-to-back forward throws. No longer in burnout. Goichi not going to fall susceptible after that backdash. Fudo is big chilling. Even though he had to deficit, he was waiting for it. I'm telling you, man. It was just a matter of time before Goichi broke. Fudo was actually big chilling. Goichi punching the issue there with the slight life lead? I don't know, man. We're starting to see a little bit of impatience coming in from Goichi.
I wonder what caused it. I wonder what caused that impatience, though, overall. But I will say that Fudo's slight micro walkbacks and whip punish things with the proper buttons as well. It feels like he's not expending as much in terms of like stand medium kicks, the flickers and things like that, the fireballs. I mean, part of that's because he's finding confirms and finding finishes, but also feels like he's getting a little bit more of like, I'll just walk up and wait a little bit, wait for you to play second or play a little less on my side of things.
Oh, the fake out on the spark. You thought you can get yourself that DI.
Rush back. Too far to do anything with an anti-air. Flicker calls away the fireballs. Now the spark as well. It's a better tempo here, Fudo.
Uh-oh. Hella damage incoming. And he builds the triple DRC. Oh my god, the whole thing. He spent the whole thing. He got the micro walk combo as well. Level 1 for Chip. Fudo is trying to bring it back. He's trying to get that big 20 bomber away from Goichi in a matter of a full 3-game sweep.
Can happen. Fast fireball. Perfect parried. Goichi taking space now with the fireball. Traveling with it. Put in the suitcase. Fudo says no access though. Just walking down, intimidating. OD fireball. Oh, the low. They can waste a little bit of bar.
man.
What a perfect
parry against the firewall.
Point.
The counter is there. Goichi super intense right now. Still playing at that pace. No fierce is here. You tried to reach that far away. Fudo already had the lesson ready.
Counter jab. I'm trying to play a button on the walk back. It's the fireball interrupting the flicker, catching, excuse me, the recovery of the flicker. Let's punish counter. With that level 2 if he needs it. Aim towards the corner.
Oy.
Not gonna happen. Stand medium kick, not right now.
Desperate to build that way out. Fudo responding in kind, draining the rest of his bar, and now trying to contain the danger that is Goichi.
Chase
Oh
him.
my god!
Double dash Hasanchu. Heavy, heavy. Level 2. Thanks for the correction, by the way. We get another pop up. Second part, level 1 to get it done. No, it's not enough. It's not enough. Just chip him out. But there's a worry level 3 though. And the time is over in favor of Goichi. Final game, final round. That's how we're going down with this. I'm sweating, man. I'm not even playing, I'm sweating.
But he's at such a deficit too. 0 bars to Goichi, and he's already getting himself towards the corner. Yeah, he's letting a lot of the fireballs create that space for himself as well. Fudo willing to let that happen. He's big chilling. He's just waiting for a whiff punish opportunity, throwing out the flickers when he can. I think this is Goichi. I would think like Goichi would want to go in, and he's going to be backing it with a fireball instead, right? He's not going to just blindly go in. He's not going to be susceptible to a whiff punish.
Yeah.
He wants to enclose that space with the fireball first.
Have that to back it up. So we can't play a button. Take your space. Now Fudo just walking in, perfect during the fireball.
And just like
A
that,
lot of bar to
nearly
utilize right
50
here.
seconds on the clock. Oh, he did it again!
Word.
Oh, too late for the
Uh-oh.
punish.
Fireball now is
Oh,
Fudo.
this is tough.
Walking with the fireball.
No way, it caught!
Swing eagle. Back to full screen again. OD fireball. Fudo disadvantage in drive cage apartment. 20 seconds on the clock right now. Winding down. Finds the stand medium kick that he needed. Definitely going to level 3, right? Has to be. Fudo being able to outbuttons this cat who has been cooking him up
It's
for
not dead.
2 games straight.
He's not dead yet. He's not dead yet.
Still got the lead.
Goichi can make it happen with 10 seconds. Not in this lifetime, though. Fudo checking the double drive rush over to Goichi, who's spending mad bar. Fudo sensed the desperation and played it out cleanly towards the end. Unbelievable tenacity from Fudo to get the 3 games straight. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me?
What insane defense from Goichi to get blown up by Fudo, finding openings, making him feel comfortable, to make him play outside his wheelhouse. And whenever there was like an errant button, it felt like damn near every single time when he was starting to route things back, there was a forward medium punch or a crouching medium kick. Outside of any range, he tagged it with his own stand medium kick. And he had better button choices, more of the fireballs, OD every so often. It felt like he was expending what he needed to a lot better too as well. But this was looking free. It looked like Goichi was going to eat him up clean. 3-0. They're going to walk away with the points. But Fudo's adaptations for him to stay solid on his side of things. Even at the very end, as you mentioned, double dash up, that could have been so much that could have been within 10 seconds. Goichi taking it back from the break. And all the things that had happened with Goichi being able to DI that he needed to, walk back and be so annoying. For Fudo to be able to find the patience, sniff out the defensive DPs that were happening, defensive buttons, to whip punish, make more reward as well. Did not expect this to happen, but well done to Fudo.
Yeah, somebody was saying like there were too many attempts at ODDP. I think it was more so him being susceptible to those forward medium punches, right? Like I think that brought him about like a lot of counter hits against Fudo in the very beginning of the set. But forward medium punch was definitely the bane of his defeat, or bane of his demise. Actually, no, it was the cause of his demise. Hello, English is hard. But those last instances where Goichi threw out the forward medium punch, every single time Fudo has punished it. Even like some of the fierces that was out there, to try to catch Fudo preemptively, got punished. Fudo was waiting at the right space for so many of these punishes in that final set that it really broke Goichi.
I feel like that's why we saw more like the fireballs and trying to follow up behind those, but Goichi just couldn't get in, couldn't get the buttons that he needed to after that. And, man, Fudo played that so well. I mean, no matter what the matchup is, the back and forth between the players, their strategy, the adaptation, especially from the side of Fudo, obviously, was insane. Like, the fact that he was like, I'm going to play at a different speed that you don't expect, and you're going to crack eventually and play a button where I can whip punish you. You know, I like the way that Fudo wasn't like getting too frustrated after a while. He started to rear back. Man, Fudo taking it for his team. That is 30 to reject to DetonatioN while only walking away with 10. Wasn't a 40 bomber, but however, you know, Tokido didn't get the play, unfortunately. And Daigo maybe could have locked in a little bit more, but still a big win here for reject going this next half of Street Fighter League.
Yeah, it was, man, that was the longest set I've ever experienced. I feel like in all of Street Fighter League Japan thus far, that might just be the longest set, period. Right? Like, we had almost 2 near time overs back to back in the final game, final round. Actually, in the final game in general. That was like wild. I don't know if that went like, I want to say that strategy wasn't like too far-fetched from the side of Goichi, right? That's something that's very much still up his alley and like something he likes to play with, right? He'll definitely drain down the time and play mad lame or mad passive.
Yeah.
But man, Fudo being able to conquer that, Fudo being able to fight all playstyles is so good, man.
I got clean. I got clean. Tokido in his interview said, I thought I would die watching all the games with relief that we won. Lashara said, I was going to stop playing Ed if I lost this match, but I was able to protect my Ed. I'm going to have to talk to you. You get done with this, Lashara. You're probably not going to watch this, but still, I'm going to hit you up because there's no reason you should lose a game and drop Ed. However, he won, so he stays solid. Daigo says, I couldn't win the game, but I'm glad that we won. So I'm curious to see what Daigo's going to do now that he hasn't really found success. He's only played twice, so obviously hasn't played a ton. But I want to see what Daigo does, because I could see the evolution of how he played last year with just fireball, 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 into doing more Akuma things. But I want to see where he goes from here.
Not bad to see like Daigo play twice out of 4 weeks, right? Pretty solid rate, being able to get like 50% of them. Which leads me to believe that I think he's going to be, he might just be on the bench going forward. I think Tokido's going to have a little bit more in mind with his JP, but I don't want to speak too soon. I want to see what the schedule looks like real quick for the future of Reject into week number 5. Let me double check. In Division F, week 5, Reject has to play against FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN, and they're going to be on the away side again. So I think they're willing to put up Daigo in that set against that team, but I'd much rather see Tokido practice his JP in this first half.
Yeah, I think with it being in the first half, I'd like to see that JP come out like immediately, you know, get that practice, weather the storm, and put it in a position where it has to be tried and tested, right? Fudo says, I was pretty nervous before the game, but Goichi's moves let me relax and I was able to do my usual moves. Tokido says, next up is FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN at the Red Bull Gaming Sphere Tokyo. We're doing well. We'd like to continue this momentum. We'll see if they continue it. You know, Lashar, I'm glad that he sticks with Ed. We'll see what Daigo does. I think Tokido coming up soon would be great to see that JP. Because from what I've seen on CFN and some of the exhibitions, it looks like it's ready to fight. It looks like now it's ready to be a competitive JP. And it's not really him being weak. It's a matter of people having a strategy against that character already and already being informed. But for him to grind it out in a couple months and have it ready for Street Fighter League, I think he's ready. And I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Honestly, I would too, and I want to see like how far they really get going forward as they prepare for like the second half. I think they're overall they've been, let me see, okay, so they're one of the few teams that have been like split down the middle between home and away side, but I guess going into week number 5 they're going to be on the away side again. So yeah, it's been primarily away heavy, so I think they're going to have a lot of opportunity to actually move forward into the home side. And then looking at DetonatioN FocusMe 1, 2, 3, yeah, they've been on the home side a bunch this first half. So hard to call. It really is hard to call to see like how they're gonna fare up the rest of the season, just how they've been playing. But I do have a lot of faith in DetonatioN FocusMe overall. Looking at their record, although they're at 70 points going into it, now at 80 points, I still think there's a lot of potential here for that team.
Definitely doable. All right, Red Bull BC1 is coming up. You said that you want to go out there. I'd like to go out there too, man, and see this in person. So it's going to be on the 9th of November. Got some time. And again, it's cool to see the cross promotion when you get to see people from outside the Street Fighter area. It looks like people that were B-Boys were actually playing Street Fighter over at TGS. They were running little exhibitions, stuff like that. And seeing them cheer for their friends and kind of get a hold of like the Street Fighter hype was so cool. What is this? I think, it's on sale. Street Fighter's on sale. 50% off right now in Japan. So if you're in Japan right now and you want to buy, no better time. Pick it up. 50% off. That's a really good deal.
I think that's everywhere. That is 100% globally. Yeah, so Street Fighter 6 now on sale, 50% off. That's a pretty damn good time to either buy it for yourself, buy it for your friends, buy it for your locals too. I think that's an excellent time for a lot of the tournament organizers to hop on that deal. But also, if you guys have been enjoying yourselves over at Street Fighter League Japan and tuning into all of the matches, you guys got to check out the merch, man. Everything has been so solid when it comes to the production of this merch and really celebrating not only the teams, but the players as individuals as well. So that's something I want to look forward to. I unfortunately didn't get to see any of these pop up during my trip over in Tokyo, but one thing's for sure, once I get there again, I would love to try to pick up some merch and talk to these guys over at the production studio. You can see it. The designs are so sick, right? You got the logo in the front and the teams on the grid in the back, Division S and Division F. That is pretty damn sick.
I need that hoodie. Like, I need that hoodie yesterday. Definitely when I pull up in Japan next year, I definitely want to grab some. Like, no matter what happens, I'm going to go to Capcom Cup, like, regardless. So I hope they have them on sale there. I'm sure that will go really fast considering, you know, the fever that is out there in terms of, like, for Street Fighter League and Street Fighter League Japan just in general. Like, I assume it's going to sell it fast. So, y'all, we're going to have one more match. ZETA going up against FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN. That's going to be our last and final one of the night. Come back from this break. We'll see you soon.
21時28分頃予定しております。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
創世のモンスターは災いをもたらすもの。古くからの慣例に従い、どちらか一頭を葬らねばなりません。
未熟者だ。王子としてもライダーとしてもあれを支えてやってくれ。
このルディ決めております。王子を一人前にすると。
アマラ様はレンジャーという組織を作り、モンスターを保護する活動をした方だと聞いた。俺もレンジャーのみんなもアマラ様を尊敬してる。
謎だらけの怪現象に挑むなんて、やっぱりレンジャーはかっこいいですね。
あれは脅威モンスターだ。
捕らえた。
しばらく世話になるわね、王子。こっちよ、行こう。
母様が何をしようとしたのか、それが知りたくて僕はレンジャーになった。
現在我々はかつてない危機に直面しています。この最悪の危機から脱するために、今こそ我々は手を取り合わなければなりません。国境にまで進軍しておきながら手を取り合おうとはどういう了解か。まあ待て、仮に手を取り合うとしてどうするのだ。北限の向こうにある聖域への帰還を果たすのです。
いいかい、君は王になるべきだ。国事に興味はないと言ってはいるが、君のような優しさを持つ人が王になれば世の中は平和になる。
リオレウス、ここで出てくるなんて。
大カプコン展、ついに東京で開催。世界を魅了し続けるカプコン。ゲーム作りの裏側に迫る貴重な展覧会。新たなグッズも登場。詳しくは公式サイトで。
来ちゃいましたか。
相手が梅原ってことで、しっかりと勝ちに行きたいなと思ってます。
結構準備してきたんで、いい試合ができると思ってます。
抜けているが、孫の体力がわずか。
うわ、うまい。
オッケー、
完璧。
完璧です。どうするんだろうな、孫さん。お互い3ゲージ。
うまい。超痛い。
梅原はかなり波動主体のスタイル。
おい。
自体が
やってんだよ。
やっぱ準備の梅原だわ。
そして伸びた。遠い。来い。スカッタが。
美味しい。
いや、ごめん。
うまいどまい。
はい、いいよ。
先端の技打ち。う
まいどまい、大丈夫だよ。ナイスナイスナイス、偉い。
これ荒らしに行くわ。
マジか。
コンボをつなげていき、亀橋到達です。ここからまだ攻めは続く。梅原ガードに徹した。
ガンガード。
ナイス。
もう御の字。もう御の字だよ。もうできすぎ。
しかし愛知中心が当たっている。
抜けるが
インパクト足りないかも。
じっくりいってもいいよ。
インパクト返せないと、インパクト返せないとよ。
相手もゲージないから。
ごしょ
いいや、入って。
いいよ、美味しい。
おい、風水ね。
先攻めまだ来る。バーンとしの梅原。インパクト。
おっしゃー。そうです。お疲れ様です。 し OK。
あのさんあんな集中してんのあんま見たことないから僕は。
いつもなんかふざけてるみたいじゃねえかよ。
Back like we never left, we continue with our last match of the day. ZETA Division Geekly versus FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN. This is going to be a marquee match if I ever saw one. We'll start off the away side, ZETA Division Geekly, with the chosen one. Bam! This man's toxic. Haru recently had a birthday. Happy belated to him. All right, after that, it's going to be the prodigy. Higuchi always staying golden out here, never folding on the Guile. Still, a very ridiculous threat with his character taking the top spot. The perfect parry prince. It's Kakaru on the JP, nothing else need be at all. His dominance with that character is a sight to behold. And last but definitely not least, the one that leads the charge, the Silent Blade and Ninja, is Momochi on the Ed. What a stacked team in terms of talent, composition. However, they to find their footing out here, especially now they have to fight FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN.
Kakaru is still unfortunately able to play on doctor's orders, so you will rely on Momochi, Higuchi, and Hikaru all the way through. And you talked about that challenge being presented. Let's get closely introduced to what that challenge is going to be. FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN. Man, English is hard at like 5:30 in the morning. But you know what's harder? Facing this home team. I want to say that with the amount of practice I've had on CFN, I actually had the chance to like watch a lot of these players this week. It's going to be a very interesting kind of choice to see who's going to face off against who. There's going to be I think there's going to be a Torimeshi pick somewhere weaved into this lineup. Well, let's talk about it. FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN starting things off with the Ascended. It's not just one boss, it's two bosses coming in with both Jury and Mai. I want to see how he's going to be weaved into this equation, along with the Fire Master, that is Torimeshi, the other Dhalsim enthusiast that has been gracing the stage with that Dhalsim. The Explosive Fist coming in from Johnny. We saw his Marisa last week, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder if he's going to go back into that Manon. All guided by the Unyielding Spirit. Yanai, always making the adaptations. I love his signature, by the way. Okay, that's pretty slick. This is FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN coming up to bat on the home field advantage. Now, Johnny had actually played that Marisa not too long ago. I believe the previous week at Adelie's Ed. Tsubasa played Jury and Torimeshi was on the anchor. Unfortunately, they got fully swept. The one prior to that, though, in week number 2, was still kind of rough to watch. Torimeshi was the one that had to carry to get that opening in the anchor positioning to get that tiebreaker to happen, and Yanai clutched it out for 30 points. However, in their debut with a newly assembled team, they also fell short. So this has got to be a big change. This has got to be their test going into very closely to the second half of this season. They have to get these points now.
Yeah, they're both tied in terms of point positioning, but the differential is in favor of ZETA Division Geekly so far. Today's the day. Things will change, though. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, Kakaru is out. We wish him the best, and we wish him help so he's able to play. And not only that, just to be in better health. You know, I want to see him out and about. I want to see him streaming once again, but it'll be the rest of the squad leading the charge. So Higuchi, Hikaru, Momochi is going to be the order. This makes sense to me. I like Momochi being in like an anchor position. I feel like he's able to clutch it out quite a bit. No matter what the matchup is, I feel like he's just comfortable in like a first of 3. We'll see who comes up though. Oh, the Marisa. Let's start things off. That makes sense against Guile. One of his worst matchups is going to be Marisa. One of her best. The Guile players have routinely tried to avoid that. Knuckle, for example, has been trying to find a character against like Lazy Boredom over in the States. This has been a similar thing for the past couple of seasons. Actually, all the seasons it's been that where Marisa does well against Guile. Anti-fireball play is really good with Superman Punch. Armor is really good against his buttons and the single hit fireballs and things like that. So she has many ways to deal with what he wants to do overall.
Does he though? I feel like this matchup in particular is rather difficult still with Marisa. I think she can swing against the distances that Higuchi wants to play out with normals, but with how fast the recovery is with Guile's Sonic Booms, I don't know how else Marisa is gonna get by. Maybe with Gladius, perhaps. Maybe with Superman Punch. I'm not sure. But in terms of like normal to normal, I think Marisa can do it for sure.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that whenever sometimes I talk about some of these matchups, I'm like, when I see the players play, the Guile players generally win the matchup. Like, the only time where I've seen it recently where Marisa does win, it was like Lazy Border versus Knuckle Dude. But even then, like, before that, it felt like they had such a good handle on the matchup. So, yeah, she does have like Gladius and things like that, and button to button, she's better off. But I feel like the Guile players have had such a good strategy against her, understanding that it can be bad in some moments. I feel like Higuchi being like a lab rat, those moments may not happen so often. Like with the armor blowing up what he wants to do, I feel like he'll have patience in what he throws out with booms or buttons. I feel like he'll be prepared. I think he probably knew this was going to happen, really the away side and them having a Marisa. Like, it would only make sense to send up what else on paper, or at least what they think is to be a better matchup. So I'm assuming he'll have something ready for him. Johnny hasn't seen much success just yet. We'll see if this will be the day he does find that win. But same with Higuchi. They've both been on like a downtrend. Higuchi maybe more so. He's played a little bit more, I do believe. And he hasn't really been the prodigy that we expect him to be out at League. And I don't think it's really, maybe it's both a him thing and just the League being stronger. Maybe it's both.
Possibly. But I am kind of curious to see like what Johnny does to kind of like navigate this matchup in particular. Again, I can really see like Marisa being a little bit of a disruptor, but I'm just so concerned with the main issue, and that is like the fireball presence that Guile has. Right? Just that fireball alone it poses such a problem for so many other characters in general. Like, sure, I talk a lot of hype around it, but having like 30 frames of recovery is a pretty significant deal, right? I think, although despite the nerfs, I still think it's going to be a little bit problematic to navigate around. Like, you lose so many resources if you're not perfect parrying them. You could possibly trade like with normals if you call it correctly and react appropriately. But I'm personally not too confident in regards to like the win record overall from Marisa against Guile.
Yeah, it's usually been in the favor of Guile, despite what the matchup may or may not say for the players themselves, the Guile players. They're trying to gaslight me. I'm not sure, but Higuchi said he is ready for this matchup. He's confident in it. Three-piece punish on the crouching medium punch. Let's get the whip punish right there. Driver stand like such a good tool when you're close enough. He eliminated the armor with the overhead. That's a punish and a half. Too close. There's the half right there.
Yeah. Way too much right now coming in from Higuchi's side, right? That step kick, a little bit ambitious from the side of Johnny. We do get the phalanx coming on in. We saw an attempt at a roundhouse earlier. We saw an attempt at a grab right after. Higuchi, 2 steps ahead. Eat the loops.
Play this out. Oh, he got the pickup right after. That was sick. Anti with the crouch fierce, pure lockdown up in the corner. But jail, no bail. Don't let him get that level 2 off. Superman punch does cut through. No back throw though, no throw at all. It's a heavy kick instead. You are more than dead. The baby boomers.
Just as we predicted, right? Higuchi navigating around this matchup pretty easily, right? There hasn't really been a single threat thus far from Johnny.
Right, that kind of sucks. Another command grab. Too ambitious with another grip. Same time he's jumped that.
Look at that. Yeah, he's big chillin', right? Like, he's going to be around that space where some of the heavies are going to be played out, especially roundhouse. If you get a little bit too predictable with phalanx, you have a lot of time to react to that as well, right? With the Gladius being able to burst through. OD at that. Counter it, no big conversions. I like the drive reversal to push Johnny back, but it was a counter hit against Higuchi. There was an attempt at some sort of anti-air. Higuchi just eating foot though. No jury.
Yo, perfect parry though. Stop the upside down kick. Drive rush stand fierce. He's holding parry. Not getting clipped just yet. Drive rush again. OD flash kick this time as a defensive choice. Big Chill to get that bar back. He's played so well out of the corner. Well, takes like a perfect parry. Uh-oh. Johnny got barred to his name. Didn't spin it just yet.
Oh, what a stop against a step kick. I like that. That roundhouse getting blown up. Johnny actually on the board. Blink twice and it's over. Blink twice if you need help, actually. We talk about what happens in the neutral. We talk about the momentum shift. Marisa is definitely in favor when it comes to the momentum, though. She hits like a truck, so you have to get these really big, clean openings. And Johnny has had that multiple times over against Higuchi, overstepping his boundaries a bunch.
Johnny getting a lot of reward off these scenarios. OD Sonic Boom to start things off. The blade coming out too as well. Drive rush overhead, blessing the dome. And that 4-piece flash kick back to full screen. The head savvy. And you can't press the button right there. That's exactly what he wanted. There's the armor of the Gladius cutting through.
Trying to walk out of there. We got the lights into the Demokairos. Perfect parry against the Charge Spheres. Come get this.
Drake Fang, too hard to punish in that -5 scenario for the character. Will hit the heavy though, gets the crouching medium kick. Picked up to put him down. Stall. A reversal though. Back walks into OD Sonic Boom. Safe and solid.
Throwing in that drive impact. Higuchi looking at match point. Been pretty much a slugfest, and now it's Higuchi trying to start off aggressively. Drive rush, crouch short. Drive reversal, let the blade talk a little bit. Johnny actually catching with the crouching short, preventing Higuchi from moving forward with that shield.
Harassing that crouching medium punch, would love to catch a button, the buffer. Try to tap parry again, back thrown. The flip up, Sonic Boom to chase him down. The crouching to kick the flash kick. Drive rush, slight delay, but right on time. Level 3 gonna end this. Higuchi with a pop off. Is it the matchup? It's 6-4 my style. My favorite.
Damn,
Ooh, that pop
he
off.
definitely needed that. He 100% needed that. Higuchi has not been getting a W since he started, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look at day number 1. Yeah, Higuchi has not had a single win yet this season. Quite the opposite, right? Like, we're so used to him being like the top point earner, or at least within contention of like top 3 point earners. This is literally the first set he's won thus far in the season. And so that pop-off was well-deserved. It's like, yeah, bad matchup for me. I'm gonna get this W, baby. I like that. I like that a lot.
So he was confident. We see it in his game plan. I like how he had set up like Blade every so often to interrupt things. He was good in terms of like the offense with the overheads, and anti-airs were mostly on point too as well. As you mentioned, like the Sonic Booms, there were chances where she did get in with like the Superman punch, but it wasn't enough to like deter him or stop him from running those booms. And then of course hit the heavy, runs the Gatling. A fireball's right there. Also good buffer though. I mean, Johnny did have some good moments. When he has some sequences on, I mean, that's Marisa doing damage. That's gonna happen no matter what. Sometimes you have a Marisa round, a Marisa game, it's gonna have to happen to you. You have to fight this type of character. But the way he kept on the pressure, the approach, switching it up, overheads and lows, and being able to square off the damage that he needed, that pop-off was definitely well-deserved. 10 points. ZETA staying with it with their team right now. Hikaru with the block announced. So if people didn't know, he's been training this block up for maybe a month and a half. Broski also too, as the Aki players are trying to find a way against some of their worser matchups and maybe some things that they feel wily against. So having a secondary in their pocket, try to be a little bit more informed with the game. I get it, I see it. We'll see if it's ready for Street Fighter League though.
Yeah, I really want to learn who's going to be stepping up to the plate. Ooh, the Dictator. Bison stepping up to the plate via the Captain Yanai. Man, he's got the double yipes on him. He got both the gloves on.
All right, Yanai coming up to fight. This makes sense. You probably wouldn't have put him against Momochi, Ed, and against Blanca, and if it has to go to Aki, you know, if it has to be that way. I think Blanca's, or Bison, excuse me, is a good pick. But again, I'm wondering how good this Blanca is. I've seen it in CFN, but Street Fighter League is always something different. We talk about things that have happened outside the league. That's great. When you have the pressure of people on you that have studied you, that you're writing for your team, it's a different sort of energy, different sort of weight you have to carry. So I'm wondering, is it ready for prime time league?
If not now, then when, right? I think this is still going to be a good time as they've got so much more of a buffer behind them with how many more, they have like, what, 6 more weeks behind them? I don't deem it to be a bad look. Or, yeah, I wouldn't deem it to be a bad look at all. But I think Hikaru, with how many hours he spends like during the day playing this game, I wouldn't be too surprised if he's already pulled out like all of the strats that's needed to like overcome some of the bad matchups. Like being in the away spot though is rather interesting. I think I would expect him to go with the Aki pick right off the bat first, rather than Blanca. I think Blanca would be more reserved as like a home side pick, as a counter pick, I guess. But having it on the away side, I mean, who could really tell if it actually plays off? I mean, only Hikaru could really be the one to test that theory, right?
That's a good point to say bring it through now rather than like wait later. You know, like if this isn't ready now, like this one, I wouldn't say like ultimate test, but like it's a really big test that pull it up in the 4th week before it's like the 6th week or 7th week or whatever, where you haven't had practice in league to play it. So like, that's a good point. Hikaru said, this is the first time it's Blanca that I'm playing Blanca, so I feel like Aki isn't as strong against Bison. Higuchi had his first win. I like to do the same. I can see that. You know, once Bison gets a knockdown, it goes to town. See that continuously. His aerial approach is hard for her to stop continuously. Like heavy lash, sure can be a thing. She can air to air, but the risk reward in his favor, especially if he uses like OD. Scissor kick is hard for her to punish. So I do like that he's going for the Blanca. If he gets a knockdown, at least with like Blanca level 2, as we've seen, it's hard for the Bison player to fight it out. But we have seen Bison players do well and survive. We saw that last episode. Yanai says, I really respect Hikaru, and I'll do my best to beat him.
Fair enough. Pretty straightforward. Yanai has a lot of respect towards all the players. I think they were, I want to say like, Hikaru is in like a class younger than Yanai. Yanai has had a lot more experience in the league with that G in Street Fighter 5, actually. He was one of the big prodigies that had stepped up to the plate and found himself quite a decent amount of success with it. So, however, not the strongest start, right? That scissor kick, still going to be well punished. Hikaru already off to a very, very productive start.
I know he's happy about having a jab that can deal with that. Ballcat's one of the best ones to do it. Scissor kick, not that distance though. OD, jump medium, air ball. It's a side switch as well. Okay, I like the movement already from Hikaru. Smart, drive reversal immediately. I'll see what it's taking the rest of the drive gauge.
Change him to OD air ball. High. You can't do it, man. Air ball, you saw the Psycho Crusher, right? Not gonna be practical enough. I don't even think that's a viable option. Yanai still getting blown up for it.
I'm starting to rethink what I said last week. I understand now.
I've never seen it personally. I just think it's not practical, to be honest.
It was like training mode things that like does not happen in the match. Activation level 2 coming through. To defense like Yanai. I think he has one of the better defensive moments with his Bison up in the corner. He survived though. Newly implemented Blanca. Side switch off the hop, trigger for the reversal jab, able to recover and stay fine. OD. Could have been way worse. Nice little lead in health, forcing him to back off.
Damn, drive rush back roundhouse, truly a guess, by the way. Leaving it at +5. Oh, hella damage! Hella dead, excuse me.
Oh, the delay on that too? Steal that. Smart. Whip punishes the crouching medium punch. Ready against that button. Is it with the back fist? Back heavy kick for the Oki. The bust out. That must feel nice if you're Hikaru. Now you have a character that has a reversal option on wake up. They got to worry about you.
I agree. Like, it's quite the opposite when you look at. Oh my god, that was mad early. What a reaction from Yanai.
Alright, burnout. Got bar at the bottom. Get a chance to use it. Drive impact? No, you won't. Yanai gonna take his health, his life, and everything.
Would you have spent level 3 there? I think I would have spent level 3 there. Like,
oh, yeah,
the damage is pretty substantial if you have like critical art. Plus, it takes you out of the corner. You won't be able to build like all your drive gauge back in that instance. But yeah, I genuinely think level 3 there would have been just fine.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now, do we switch? Karu. Oh, using the timeout actually. Probably discussing what he should switch or his adjustment should be, one of the two. Honestly, I feel like Yanai weathering that level 2 right there shows to me like, not that Hikaru is like bad with the Blanca, but it's not fully ready to get someone who's more on the defensive side. There's a lot of practice against that matchup. We saw the fact that Yanai was able to whip punish continuously against that crouching medium punch. Blanca's like a very annoying wily character, but he's hard to play. At a high level, he is very difficult to play and get a hold of in terms of like the movement, in terms of making the reward out of level 2, you know, structuring your offense properly, especially against people who have been practiced against that character. So I wonder, do you switch to Blanca, or do you stay on Blanca? Do you switch to a character that does worse, but you have had more time with?
He did a pretty good job in the first round, I would say. Kinda. Like, he had some pretty good call-outs against Yanai. And also, being able to have, like, a reversal is pretty important, but I don't think Hikaru is, like, phased by that, right? I wouldn't mind the Aki switch now. I really don't mind the Aki switch now, but he's not gonna falter, right? He's not gonna snap. He's not gonna break.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but at the same time, I kind of want to see him go all the way with the Blanca. Because sometimes you gotta get, as the Ips will say, sometimes you gotta get washed to get clean, right? Maybe you have to get bodied right now to be better off in League later on, to know what your weaknesses are, even if it is giving up some points to work out later. It's like a strategy out here. Do I play this new character and then get him ready, even if I take a loss, to know where I need to stand, or where I'm standing at, to be better later on? Or do I get those points right now to get the lead up? Possibly. You know, that's a bet that you're making. Tokido was about to do it too on his extra side of things. If they had played the extra game, he was going to start out with the JP. Similar sort of scenario. So I kind of want him to stay with it. I would understand if he does switch to Aki, but I want to see him go with the Blanca.
I'm kind of curious, man. Blanca, I feel like, doesn't necessarily have a bad time against Bison, but you're really hammering it home when you talk about like the player experiences with the character, right? Like, there's just some moments where like a person pilots their main better than your secondary, and that's just a God-given fact. For a lot of the time, a good majority of the time. There are some exceptions out there. There are some really grand exceptions out there where you see like tournament-winning secondaries. That is a pretty decent probability. But with the amount of time thus far from Blanca, from the side of Hikaru, we don't know. We do not know yet.
Start wake up light kick though. Like, this is on plus frame scenario. Look at him killing the drive gauge. I like that sequencing. It's more damage though. Drive rush is right back in with the stand light kick. Back to Cinder. Drive rush. A throw. Uh-oh. So where Bison thrives. Doing burnout. Evil knee.
Not quite dead, but he's just within range to chip. And he thought the same exact thing! The jump calling out the Psycho Crusher, Hikaru. One of the biggest weaknesses that Bison does have, it's been a thing since Street Fighter 2. Being able to jump around his specials is a really big problem sometimes if you're too predictable.
Yeah. A little too risky trying to close that out. I like the interruption with the back beat kick against the drive rush. Empty ball, check the challenge, perfect parry. Too many lights. Hard knockdown with the sweep. OD for the plus race, backs away. We try to get that drive gauge back and not get tossed up in the corner. There was a forward throw. Uh-oh.
Already up to a very aggressive midpoint of the match, I should say. I was going to say at the start, but this guy's been slugging it out for the last like 40 seconds. Ooh, counter hit as well. Implant the bomb. You could get the level 2 to spend the rest of it. Best believe he's gonna do it. The damage on there, not gonna be enough. And not within chip territory either. Oh, the up ball. If anybody's gonna drain me out, it's gonna be me. Not tight enough. The counter hits from Yunai. Sneaking in that cross jab. Looking at match point now.
Plus Rames walks out the air ball. About to fall right after. Now level 2 coming through. And what should we say this level 2 scenario? Now you have to pick up this time. Waka-chan back medium. The DI deletes that off the table. Wow, that's so smart. Scissor kick. Team's pressure right there. Hexa throw right after though. You know, so much bar to utilize right now.
Damn, how many punishers have been like executed so far? Oh, you're hella dead. Yanai is just too smart. He's had so many important reads against Hikaru. Despite not having the defense, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna let my offense make up for it.
It's all good. Damn. Yeah, that's a good point. The fact that he built up so much bar for so many level 2s, keeping his resources up, like, it's kind of godlike. Even you saw some moments where he would like wake up stand light kick and drive rush right after it, or like press the issue with drive rush stand light kick, or DI the level 2, knowing it was like, okay, this could be low enough, or maybe thinking, hey, he maybe doesn't know how to bait out a DI or drive impact, whatever it may be, or go for like a side switch opportunity that avoids that. Like, that's just like the knowledge of someone else not having as much knowledge as you, and you're testing those opportunities in those moments. However, Hikaru, I'm glad that he ran it. Though he lost, that's data for later on to see where he stands. And yeah, he's got more work to do, but this is only going to benefit him for later on. So I'm glad that he went with it. Maybe not in terms of points, but it comes down to this. Momochi, last person who goes up against him. It wasn't going to be a 9. Who do you think goes up now?
That's a tough call. I want to say actually Torimeshi. I don't even think that's too tough of a call.
Wait, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, Sim on your side. Heck yeah.
Yeah, Torimeshi has had a really good standing record against a lot of the Eds. Don't tell me it's Tsubasa though. Yeah, Torimeshi has to be the one. Torimeshi has broken this matchup down to the science, man. I think he's doing a great job of like navigating around all of the top tier Eds. He did so at EWC and he's continued to do so even in League. I like this a lot.
Really good pick. Set themselves up so well. I mean, like, even watching him last season, I think he was the reason why Fudo had thought about bringing back the Ed. I remember Fudo had lost one of the Ed matches, and he was like, bro, I can't. This guy, the Sim guy right here, he's outranging me. And that's my whole thing. So myself word for word, bar for bar, button for button. But that's kind of the problem with this matchup is like you get outranged by another character, and it's hard to get in. And let's say you tag a button as Ed. Depending on what it is, you might not be able to get in the distance to get another button off, or even encroach in enough space where it can matter a lot. You know, because you might tag him with like stand medium kick and drive rush right after. Your drive rush distance as Ed is not that far, so you're not getting too much off that interaction comparatively to other characters like a Kuma or like a Bison, especially whatever it may be. And the float, the jump fierce, the variance that comes through, it's already hard for him to anti-air. You have this guy taking this guy's continuously. Torimeshi, as you mentioned, has broke down the matchup so much, and it fits his style so much to rock against Ed that I feel like this is perfect. It's like a match made in heaven.
Can you can you reiterate that point about anti-airs as Ed? I'm sorry, I missed it a little bit slightly because there was a little disconnect.
Oh, you're good, you're good. I feel like it's really difficult to continuously anti-air Sim as Ed. You have slower DPs, your air airs maybe don't reach in the same area. They have the fast jump cancels now, making a lot more variance. They have Comet as well, so trying to check him outside like the Sky approach is difficult. And Torimeshi, he takes the Skies more often than any other Sim player. So I feel like it's going to be a match made in heaven for Torimeshi, but a test for Momochi in terms of how much he is able to get in against his character.
I think it's more so like the grounded game, right? Like, I think that's pretty true. I think Dalsum just overall is a really big problem to track down, whether on the ground or the air. The air is definitely going to be a little bit of a problem too. But that applies for a lot of other people too. But I think it's the ground game, right? If you were to talk it out with how Ed can control the ground with some of his normals, like mid-range is his expertise. He has really great flicker pressure as well. Dalsum is able to navigate around that pretty easily. And even if fireballs were going to be a threat, I think Yoga Float gets around that pretty easily as well. It disrupts the timing because they're forced to like wait for the fireball to sit and have to try to track down Dawson mid-air. So I think there's a lot that Torimeshi can utilize, even outside the float, right? If somebody tries to commit into a fireball and Torimeshi reads it appropriately, that teleport's going to be a problem. Being able to just instant jump air teleport is going to be so problematic for a lot of fireball characters as well. So I think Dawson having that significantly more range in this matchup is what deters a lot of Ed players from really finding success. However, once that knockdown happens as Ed, we see the kind of damage that he could do, right? There's so many instances where up close pressure just causes a person to fold no matter what the character. Dawson doesn't necessarily have the best defense either. Scoring that knockdown against Dawson is gold. It is a gold mine for someone digging into the neutral for so long. So best believe if Momochi manages to land that knockdown, he's going to continuously dig into the body and keep striking.
That pressure up. Final match of the day. Momochi. Objective, how do you get in? Torimeshi is the one pressing the issue though. Now jumping back, some of that drive gauge back in the green. And the variances you mentioned, the fireballs, the normals on the ground. Hard for him to play his. There's the trade. Oh, what a tech though.
Damn. I forgot he uses the green dot. Dude, that was sick. The Oda Yoga Comet, the bounce off into the Fierce, that was kind of godly.
Back throw against parry. Interruption and a dive kick. Torimeshi, first round. Dominance with the OD fireball. The OD Comet. I like that switch up for the aerial approach and the grounded approach. Both very strong. Perfect parry.
Oh.
Able to get the anti-air. Dash up, drive rush. Yeah, press the issue whenever you can. Does get the DP off against the jump Fierce. All right.
Out of there still. Not able to contest. Perfect parry. Against the drive setup, by the way. Good defense from Momochi. Bringing him back towards the corner at least. Or at least trying to, right? They're still somewhat mid-screen. Torimeshi trying to create some space for himself. Drive rush into float. Trying to egg on Momochi into pressing a button where he shouldn't. But Momochi keeping his discipline, keeping his ground.
Goes over the fireball. Nice and easy. Can't get in the distance to do anything about it. With DP, gets that drive rush up. Torimeshi now the one on back foot. Perfect parry. Keep the drive gauge up. And the flicker. Once it gets to that mid-range, a little bit easier to run what you like to do with the flickers and things like that. But a lot of that was predicated by in that perfect parry. Inching in. Knockdown, cycle blitz. Get back throw.
So difficult to even get out. We talked about it, right? Momochi's definitely found gold with this level 3. Get some of that drive gauge back. Get to enforce pressure too, and Torimeshi looking at his final limbs. One single hit. Is he it? It's a burnout as well.
4 Fierce. There it is. He got it. Objective achieved. And drive rush stand Fierce. I know it's a perfect yo Momochi. There is gold in these hills. Once he gets close enough, once he gets a significant confirm, it is dash up, drive rush, whatever it may be. Long range buttons too as well, like stand Fierce. Some stand medium kicks here or there. Forward Fierce, whatever it takes. Get things started.
It's going to be a very difficult time so far for Torimeshi. Despite what we're seeing right now, this beginning, it's very suitable. Not suitable, it's very like I think it's very common, I feel like, for Dawson to inflict this kind of damage thus far. But the positioning is everything for Momochi. Yeah, continues to drop the combo for sure. Intentionally, by the way, because he knew that fireball was coming.
Yeah, lock him down at minimum, get like a back throw. Didn't want that to happen. Does get the sweep with punish. Almost back. Green Graces. Falls on the fireball though. Teleport fake out, nothing doing though. Torimeshi with a big lead. Oh, there we go. The proper distance to be able to get that drive rush button right after. Full screen, damn near impossible. At that range, Mochi has lapped it out. It's not real. He's so afraid of pressing a button. The drive rush makes it real. Looped.
These Fierces being countered is everything from Momochi too. Torimeshi has let some of these Fierces rock way too often for Momochi to sense it. A punish counter again. He is so ready for these limbs, man. Torimeshi has not found the proper spacing or the right decisions to get some of these limbs to connect.
Actually, the timing's a little bit better, you know, to deal with Ed, but Momochi's been more prepped. In burnout, though, like that jump out. Still going towards the corner. Commute towards the corner. Fireball dive kick, nice and low. Counter hit, push back off the blast. There's a DI coming.
No
but
way.
You know what? I got to answer for that. Level 3. You know what? I'm back with drive gauge as well.
Yeah, that trade-off. Such a good call, too. Momochi getting the big throw bait. Actually, it was Torimeshi trying to press a button. He tried to delay his button. Momochi was going to duff it no matter what. A clean 2-0 so far for the Ed main. Damn, this is some bus-ass right now. Torimeshi is perplexed.
He's like, wait a minute, let me check my notes. I win this matchup, right? Like, y'all said that, right? But the way that Momochi is playing and inching forward, having to take some risk, obviously having to spend quite a bit of drive gauge sometimes, being burnt out, but his defense is excellent, his confirms are excellent, his baits are excellent, and we haven't really seen a variance of buttons and fireballs that is putting Momochi off his game. Usually, those buttons do not get sniped out that continuously. That is a Momochi is cooking tight beat.
Honestly, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Torimeshi pulled out the 0-3. If he pulled out the 0-3, sorry, well, if he pulled out the 3 reverse. He's done it before, by the way.
I think so.
He's definitely done it before against a high-profile Ed. If you guys have been watching along for a while now, even like outside of Street Fighter League, I think there's a pretty decent possibility for Torimeshi to pull this out, man.
I hope so, because I want to see more games. Like, I don't want to see a washout here. I want to see what Torimeshi can do to route things back. I want to see the matchup a little bit more in favor sometimes of Sim here. But, man, Mochi's kind of playing insane right now. Crouching right kick with punish? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this guy is in the proper ranges at all points. It's kind of incredible. But you mentioned this is not something that's been rare for Torimeshi, rare for it to happen. Sometimes he has to get that data. And maybe that's why, you know, you have him in this first of 3 scenarios, so he has more time to grind things out and fight it out. You know, like, he's like, okay, if it was first of 2, I would have been cooked a long time ago. If I have one more game under my belt, one more adaptation, it's possible I can run it back.
We've seen it happen before. We've literally seen it in the prior matchup between Reject and DetonatioN FocusMe. Fudo was at the deficit of 0-2 and reverse sweep against Goichi. But the way Momochi's been playing, man, Torimeshi knows for sure he's in the wrong throwing outside these limbs. Momochi's like, hey, free punish? I'll definitely take it. Oh, you're close enough for me to get an even bigger punish with Drive Push? 100%. So there's got to be something within Torimeshi to be a little bit more aggressive, but I don't even think that's a possibility. Momochi's been sitting at the right ranges to force these errors from Torimeshi.
That's part of the problem is, like, we see him getting aggressive sometimes, but the reward is, like, not a lot. Like, we saw him go for a conversion, like, they get a knock, they try for the throw, it's tech, and then everything's reset back to where Momochi wants it to be. He's finding his whip punishes. He's already finding a jump, and oh no, Vicious. Not like this, bro. Not like this. Empty throw.
He's so smart. He is so consistent, man. Yeah, threatening with the float, right? Forcing Momochi to back off a little bit. Kobe punch as the counter hit. Just outside of that range for the drill. A lot of these parries have been punished severely against Torimeshi. One false limb. Don't do it. Okay. Whoo! Oh, that could have been a sweep.
He's chilling though. He's cooling. Oh, I tried to get predictive with it. Didn't work out, but he's still in such a big lead right now, even though lower in drive gauge. Torimeshi pensive with throwing out buttons, throwing out more fireballs. Perfect parry. Follow up though. The bar's coming back. Oh my god, every button that's whipped. I'm sweating. Boss up the jump, heavy kick.
A little bit of a bad spot still for Torimeshi. Despite the burnout being on the side of Momochi, Torimeshi trying to get antsy, that aggression is being stopped. Momochi looking at match point for Team Zeta. Damn, I didn't realize Torimeshi was legend rank #1. That's crazy.
Ooh, wow. Mad grinding.
Not bad for a businessman.
Man, word. Clocks in, clocks out, clocks in again. Get the teeth clocked out right now, though. Don't fall on the fireball, able to float over it just a little bit. The layup.
Boy. Trying to navigate around the limbs, trying to navigate around the fireballs. Momochi does see green. Down forward throw. Set up with the Yoga Fire. Roundhouse to check the distance. Momochi having to sit still a little bit. Torimeshi not willing to throw a limb just yet, and no anti-air either. The drive reversal, baiting out with the back medium, trying to get a slide. Way too far out. Momochi ready for a Cobra Punch, sit him down. Fears catching the rest of that backdash. Level 3 incoming. Gonna be a lot of damage. Momochi not gonna get this kill, but in a very advantageous situation. One more guess for game against Torimeshi.
All you need to do, one more touch. One more hit. And it's nice and patient. Strike when he needs to. Both Inferno, the fadeaway in play, and that's a layup. 3-0 over Torimeshi. Momochi popping off, hugging the homies. Well done, taking down the Sim and cutting his wings. That dude played that insane. The walk down, the patience and burnout. People sit here saying, oh, this game's super aggressive, this and that. Did y'all see the patience in that game? The amount of, I'll just reposition myself when I need to, find the buttons when I need to. It's not always about mashing the buttons, drive rushing, and things like that. Momochi, pure footsies, pure defense in the offense, fantastically done. My God, that was immaculate.
That was some bust ass. Like we prefaced it with Torimeshi taking out so many of the end players these last couple of months, and he confidently put himself, or at least the coach did, confidently put Torimeshi as the anchor. Momochi blew him up sky high. There was just so much evidence against Torimeshi in this matchup. They have to really readjust. I know for sure Torimeshi is going to have to really think about this in the locker room. That was pure dominance and patience from Momochi, navigating around both the fireballs and the limbs. Not even just navigating around it, right? Also making the right calls against the float, against the pressure from Torimeshi. I don't think there's a single instance where he got his offense off correctly outside of the very first instance of the very first game. Momochi has just been so on point with forcing these really out-of-range limbs against Torimeshi, punishing accordingly, getting these knockdowns, and striking for gold. That was the primary objective, and Momochi hit it 2 times over. 3 times over, technically.
Great thing about this is like when he's like inching forward, he's in the range where he can like perfect parry or punish. Like even that idea, you can see made Torimeshi be like, bro, what am I supposed to do? Like I can't do crouching medium punch, stand medium kick. I can't do nothing. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, he's in a range where it makes the other player be like, oh, I can't use my buttons. And so it allowed him to be more confident using his things. So, well done. Mochi definitely labbed that one. I cannot wait to see his stream after, because I'm sure he's going to break that down even more so. But the work that's been put in to fight that matchup was fantastic. 3-0 on Torimeshi. And some in the chat said that, you know, the training partner, Abby Hart, who's a really good Ed player, by the way, one of the best actually in Japan. Torimeshi was playing with him quite a bit. They both have to go back to the lab on that one because, that was clean. Clean and pristine. My God.
What a 30 bomber 2. Like, with Kakeru out of commission, like, ZETA needs as many points as possible, right? Like, Higuchi also finally getting his first W. He's got to feel ecstatic about that. Like, the overall presence from ZETA just, honestly, has not been the same. Right, we were going into this like, damn, this is a pretty stacked lineup. I think they're gonna score like a ton of points this season. Fact of the matter is, they were going into this at the bottom 2, right? They're tied with FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN going into this match. They got 30 points to their name just before the halfway point, right? So now they're at 70. Let me put the right calculation. Now they're at 70. The rest of the squads have been already moving up. Right, like it's gonna be nothing but pure catch-up, and it's hard to say like what their future is gonna be like without one of their biggest hitters. But I do like the way it's shaping up. Even Hikaru taking some of the big gambles of throwing out that Blanca, I still like their chances.
I like their chances more because he did that earlier. As you mentioned, I thought about it more. Playing him now and getting that ready for later on to be a really big threat with 2 characters, especially a lap rat that is Hikaru, like I feel like that's going to be a devious thing a little bit later on. Hikochi starts out the interview, says, I was really emotional for this match. I was losing badly recently, as you preface, so I'm really happy to be able to say I won today. So really got the confidence in that matchup as well. We saw it in the way he worked. He was still throwing out sonic booms, even though he saw the Superman punch come through. He was not going to stop running that. Yanai said, I think I did a good game, so I'd like to play, or I'm sorry. Oh, my bad, I read that wrong. Hikaru said, unfortunately I lost, but I was more confident with the Blanca against the Bison. I think I did a good game, so I'll play Blanca further on. Or at least he'd like to, maybe depending on the matchup. So I think he has some matchups in his mind that he's gonna run to Blanca for. I would imagine Akuma and Cammy, because those are like some of Aki's worst, the ones that they at least complain to make content about the most. So I'm wondering if that's gonna be like the choice for him.
Yeah, and it's so specific too. Like he's having this matchup specifically for Blanca. I don't know, sorry, for the characters he has to play, which is like Bison. I'm not sure like how often he's gonna be doing that because of like the current spread of characters in Division F, right? How many other Bisons does he have to play off against? Like if you look at today's matchups, I'm not too sure, right? I don't know how many other Bisons he's going to play off against, but even more so, like what other matchups is he going to be fearing, right? Maybe Akuma, perhaps? I don't know if he has like a bad time in that matchup. Mai, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe Mai. And then maybe also Cammy, too, as well. Yeah, maybe there's like a few handful that he has like an issue with, but shoring up the holes even more so now maybe is important because if Kakuru's going to be gone even longer, you want to make sure that you're even more picture perfect with your points. So it's also part of this.
Yeah. And going into those practice points too, like Momochi, he had mentioned it earlier, having a lot of practice with the young practicing partners. They're just glad to be able to get those W's, right? For both the partners, the partners too, and the fans. Okay. He also followed it up with Higuchi was so confident after this match, saying we get 40 points for the next episode against Hiroshima Team Ikusa. We'll do our best to do that. What a pace to set. I honestly love that attitude. And honestly, it's good to see Higuchi finally getting his first W. He's had a rough shot, boy, let me tell you. Things have not gone his way these last couple of weeks, but I'm glad he actually got the W.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we talk about him being the prodigy. He's been out here as a long-standing member of Street Fighter League, and for a lot of times, a star on his team getting the most points, and usually in the top spot in terms of points overall, in terms of both divisions. So definitely needs that boost. He'll need it because Hiroshima's in that top spot. 40 bar from them against VARREL. After that, we saw Reject get 30-10 over DetonatioN FocusMe. And of course, we ended it off with ZETA Division Geekly getting 30-10 against FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN. Those were some really sick matches, especially Hiroshima Team Ikusa, who establishes himself further and further in that top spot.
Yeah, man, what a lineup too for like our scheduling, right? When you see like the overall results, like seeing this 40 bomber for Hiroshima Team Ikusa, I'm actually kind of curious to see like how this all plays out for the rest of Division F, which we will get into a little bit later. I love the current overall spread. I called it right. I'm 100%. We'll take it. I didn't realize it. I'm 100% in my predictions today. We'll definitely take that. Let's go.
Wait a minute. I might be joining you. I'm joining you too. Let's go. We win today? All right. Thank you, production. All right. We'll take that. Yeah, some might have been a little bit shaky, so it feels good. I feel like Higuchi right now.
We got our first win this season. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes, brother.
It's hard to call, man. Time. It's hard to call when it comes to Street Fighter League.
I think that's the best part. Like, even if we don't call it correctly in terms of like the scores, it's really a genuine thought of like who else would have been like this on point, because there have been so many unpredictable moments thus far, and it's like for good measure because we're so close to this halfway point, right? There's so many things that have evolved in the matchups that we're so used to seeing from prior events. Like obviously the biggest example was that bust out is coming in from Momochi, right? 3-0 against Torimeshi when Torimeshi's been on an absolute hot streak against a lot of the Eds. I love that development, genuinely. Then it only causes even more of an improvement from the FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN side, despite them being at 50 points, it still lights a fire, no pun intended, towards the Yoga Master. So we'll see how that develops. But in terms of development, Hiroshima Team Ikusa at the very top, 120 points, Reject at 110, DetonatioN FocusMe at 80. These are the top 3 dogs of Division F. And you see the tie between ZETA Division Geekly versus VARREL. And down below, you see FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN.
Things are still contentious out here. Hiroshima obviously getting a huge lead today, but that could all change. As mentioned, these players go back and forth in terms of what they're doing outside and inside of Street Fighter League, so they're only going to get stronger with people adding new characters, with C. Viper at some eventual point in the 15th, and then obviously some weeks after that, we'll see who implements that character in their gameplay. If they do it all, maybe it's too late in the season, we'll have to see, but either way, a lot of good developments in terms of like the meta, the shifts, how people are playing. Today was a lot of lane play too as well in terms of like not just hitting the gas on drive rush and initiating with buttons and things like that. And now we're seeing the evolution of Hiroshima Team Itsuka live and on a graph. And Reject, not too bad, staying fairly solid. The downtrend of VARREL, they gotta pick it up. They gotta pick it up. This is not looking too good for them. And of course, FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN has kind of been at the bottom for a little bit. DetonatioN FocusMe rising through the ranks though. Good ups on their side of things. And this is our next schedule on the 7th when we meet again. Pablo Gaming, Good 8 Squad. We're going to be Oja against Seoul, and CHA Osaka against Crazy Raccoon. Shouts out to Crazy Raccoon, by the way. They were having an anti-Blanca session for like a good 2 to 3 hours yesterday. It was actually kind of funny to see all those cats out there grinding it out, preparing for whatever matchups even coming their way, whether inside or outside of the league in general.
Yeah, and we see some of the players even like hang out outside of that. We saw both Dogura and Kawano hitting the gym today. Dogura definitely out of breath, but my man trying to hit that gym. Anyways, Division F starting on Friday on the 17th of October. Reject versus FUKUSHIMA IBUSHIGIN, Hiroshima Team Ikusa versus ZETA Division Geekly, and then DetonatioN FocusMe versus VARREL. What a lineup. Hiroshima Team Ikusa currently the top dogs against a team who's had the utmost potential thus far. Again, will we see Kakaru? I highly doubt it. He is taking a little bit of a hiatus, but regardless of that, it's going to be a banger all the way through.
Absolutely. I do think we're going to get a new commentator for the Japan stream next week. We're going to get word on who that is. I think in the... Let me check and see. We're going to get word. Oh, is that Noru? Oh, heck yes. One of my favorite players to watch. Yeah, the Jamie, Sagat, and Ryu player, depending on what he wants to play, has also been a big streamer, is now also becoming a commentator. Good to see that player sort of mentality be implemented as a commentator, and I like to hear his thoughts on things. I'm sure we'll get some translations from people outside of, Street Fighter League. Maybe they'll cut some things down, but it's cool to see more additions to the commentary desk over at Street Fighter League Japan overseas.
And I'm glad there are people who have been in the know, right? He's got a DetonatioN FocusMe jersey. He's definitely been a very active coach for a lot of the players too, low-key. But also, he streams almost every day, dude. I have his stream on lock every single time. But you guys should too when it comes to this stream in particular. This is the schedule you should anticipate. We have so much more in the works in regards to Street Fighter League, but keep your attention tuned in to Evo France happening next weekend. Then you have the final offline event for the CPT for qualifying into Capcom Cup. That's going to be happening towards the end of October, leaking into November in Chengdu, China with the Asia Major. Then it's back to business with all of the Street Fighter League you could ever ask for. Back to back to back to back. Tuesdays and Fridays.
Get your coffee up, people. It's going to be a wild ride. I cannot wait to see. Also, we have the World Warrior coming up on that this weekend. Excuse me. It's actually this weekend. They're going to have another World Warrior. And of course, on that same month, we have the third one as well. So a lot of action in and outside of Street Fighter League. A lot of developments in the meta. And we'll see who's going to be using like C. Viper when that's going to be happening. Of course, we're going to be having our playoffs in December, the 13th and 14th. So make sure you watch that and tune into that. Then we have the regional finals for, looks like the World Warrior on the 8th. Looks like that was what, February 8th? I didn't catch it. Either way, a lot of action coming up, people. Make sure you guys tune in and lock into everything Street Fighter League. Follow the official accounts of Capcom, wherever they may be. Follow me and Vicious for even more Street Fighter stuff, and hang out with us. And just talk to us about what you like, what's going on in your side of the world. We also have the ticket sales for the grand finals for Street Fighter League Japan. It's going to be happening in, well, excuse me, that's January. Yes, okay, okay. Get those ASAP. They sell out expeditiously.
Yeah, this is actually pretty sick, right? This is something I really, really would love to watch in person, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna be working, so I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't think there's ever gonna be a desk there for us to do it, but damn, would it be cool. But it's also cool to see that Japan is only on their second week for the World Warrior. I'm actually mad excited to see it because the first one was a sweat fest. This is going to be happening October 5th. Mark your calendars this Sunday with a 4:30 start Japan local time. I don't know wherever you guys are tuning into. Good luck. I know for sure I'm going to be losing sleep as well, but it's going to be damn well worth it considering who's going to be commentating for the public viewing. It's going to be Aru, Hanako, and Naruo introducing his big commentary debut sooner rather than later, actually. The fact that we're actually going to get him for World Warrior number 2 and then into Street Fighter League, I am mad excited.
Super excited to see his inclusion, and also hopefully you guys are excited to see even more Street Fighter action coming up in the future, real soon actually, as well as the World Warrior stuff too as well. Tournament starts at 1 p.m. their time, it looks like, so tune in and lock in. You can do your translations over on your side of things, but either way, get some coffee if you're in the U.S. I'm just going to warn you right now. But you've been doing so because you've been watching Street Fighter League or catch the VODs. Either way, get ready for even more Street Fighter action. But that does it for us. We've had a fun one. It's been a great one. A lot of blows, and I can't wait to talk about it even more so, even outside of this. Thank you so much for joining us over at Street Fighter League Japan on the restream and hanging out with me and Vicious for a whole morning of fantastic action. I know my neighbors are upset, but man, how can I not pop off with this action? It has been so ridiculous. It's been nothing short of absolute sickness. So when we return, we're going to have even more with the switch up of the divisions and even more action pulling up.
Yeah, so much to look forward to. I hope everybody in Japan is ready for it. I hope all the viewers at home are ready for it. It's going to be an action-packed couple of months. We're getting closer and closer to getting qualifiers for Capcom Cup this year. You guys do not want to miss it, man. It's been an absolute pleasure thus far. And again, we hope you guys have been enjoying yourselves. We know all the memes that have been thrown down, but at the same time, we love and appreciate you all. That's going to be it. That's going to be our time. I'm going to hit the gym. Seiko's going to go to sleep probably. We'll see you guys for the next one. Have a good weekend. Peace out, y'all. 選手の音声に本日のハイライト動画を流します。こちらもお楽しみに。それではディビジョン S 第5節でお会いしましょう。さよなら。さよなら。
こんばんは。
小手さん手挙げて、小手さん手挙げて。あ、聞こえてますわ。聞こえてますわこれ。吸い込まれるような瞳がカメラいっぱいに収められています。バッチリとオフラインでもハンドサイン揃えております。ディビジョン F 第4節です。まずはチームマッチ1、バレル対チームイクサ。
技ラッシュ。
めくりがしっかりとガードしていたんですが、まだ攻めは止まらなかった。2本溜まってしまった。いやー、崩れている。アクアブランカー。
どんまいだな。いやー、どんまい。どんまい。どんまいっすね。ナイスファイトでした。すごい。ナイス。いやでも、
なるほど。キャノン。キャノンを追いつくような形。残り時間4秒。これまでいて5に3に来た。
これでバーンを狙いに行く。動き。
いや、止めてない。
いやー、どんまい。いやー、いい勝負だったな。いやー、惜しかったな。すごい。アベレすごい。お前はすごい。マジですごい。
下がっての中足です。さあ、キラ密着の駆け引き、冷静に制していきました。
成功。ジャスパー、おお、えらい今のカウンター。
垂直指導。これは豪輝さん残らないのか。3ゲージまで走り切った。
いやー、しゃあない。いや、マジしゃあない。しゃあない。どんまい。いや、しゃあないな。オッケー。
また先歩エドで出たんですけど、今回は勝ちたいです。チームのために頑張ります。
ちょっと疲れてて自動ドアみたいな挨拶になっちゃう板山さんの真似。ポロンウィン。
なるほどね。
ないんで
打撃で崩した。
細かく確認して SH リーサル
サイコストーム出るのが列車、さらにはラッシュから音、
いろいろ
ザ・バーンドをしながら音、ザ・バーンドをしながら前に出る。
じゃあそれ
ちょっと受けている。
繋がってなかった。何かにお怖っ。
そこから角度
ちょー押してる。
はい、オッケー。ナイス。偉い。頑張った。
完璧や。ナイスナイス。
カードですが
6回きたー。バーンアウト間際。
ここでの回復。こことして技を押さず。うわー、ここで下がってしっかりと打ち取る。
手口は
バーンアウト中のフード
あるよ。ワンチャンス。
こいち崩せるか。
よく暴れたな今のは。
いやー、申し訳ない。
マジで惜しい。
おお、ナイスナイスナイスナイス。あれだよ。あぶねー。
3に触っちゃえばね。うわー、
さあそれとマッチャーカウンターヒットです。
お、うわー、入る。うまいぞ。これリーサルじゃない？
中段さあ樋口は飛び上がった。吠える樋口。さあ樋口は飛び上がった。吠える樋口。いやー、
ここで溜まってたけどですね。
そうですね。
お見事。影は一折りか。いやー、ガードする。
ダッシュからのガードでした。
ナイス。ナイス。よしよしよし。いいね。
あ、怖かった。
おっと鳥飯。大パン。
うわー。
さあもう。
まあこれファイヤーテレポですね、本戦は。
さあ鳥飯バウンドしながらでしたが。
まあ、いやー。
まあ、なんか、いやー、うまい。ナイスナイス。
全部ここからだから。30点の獲得成功です。おめでとうございます。
お見事。